I hate when you do that.
Why?
It sounds disgusting.
It's the sound of my thighs when I run.
Is this how girls feel when they hear the word moist?
No.
Oh, God. Oh, God. It makes me feel dirty. Stop it.
Welcome to this episode of the Trash Taste Podcast, where we talk about not anime. But we might talk about anime today, actually. So.
Who knows? Who knows? Are we feeling spicy today?
We'll never tell.
I might bring up anime and then immediately tangent from it. Who knows?
Who knows? Not even we do most of the time what we're going to talk about. Unless it's like a themed episode.
I did think what I was going to talk about today because I was the host. I was like, Connor, you have to think about what we're going to talk about.
Go on then.
Go on then. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I will talk about.
Do you want to introduce us, by the way? We're the Boiis.
No, I'm not introducing you. They know who you are by now. We're on episode 49. They should know who you are. Nearly 50. But yeah, no. So a few weeks ago, I watched the JOJO Event.
Of course you did.
Of course I did. Where part 6 was announced, which is great. Which is why everyone watched it, because they were like, will part 6 get announced? Who knows?
Man, imagine if they didn't announce part 6 after all that.
I think people would have been very sad. I should probably explain, if you're not a JoJo fan, don't worry, you don't need to explain. Basically, there was a whole event around JoJo. They didn't say they were going to announce the new anime adaptation, but everyone was like, they said it's the biggest event in JoJo history, so I think they're going to announce it. Otherwise, I don't think this is the biggest event.
Do they normally do JoJo events just randomly out the blue?
I've never heard of one.
Well, this has been planned for a very long time, apparently, actually.
Right.
A year ago, I think, actually.
Have they done one before this?
I feel like they have. But then if you go to YouTube and you type in JoJo live on TV, they constantly get the voice actors to do kind of what they did in this event.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll walk you guys through the event, basically what happened.
Yeah, because I didn't get to watch it.
I didn't get to watch it either. I just saw the reaction.
The reactions, we'll get into that. That was fun. First of all, the event, we weren't really told anything, so you didn't know anything that was happening. All we knew is that there was a $40 price tag to watch the live stream.
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view, yeah.
Oh,
$40.
Jesus.
Wow. Which is a little steep, you know.
Eat your heart out, Jake Paul.
And we were, YouTube boxing? Now, JoJo Event, please. But it was, so it was a pay-per-view, and we weren't told anything before. Right. We were just told it's going to be
the biggest event in JoJo history.
At an echo, at a reverb to
As if they don't say that for every event.
You know how they are in Japan. I feel like they hype things up way beyond belief.
Of course.
Yeah. And again, we weren't told anything. So essentially what happened was that they did kind of a game show kind of thing in the start with some of the voice actors. So every main character, Joseph. If you don't know JoJo, don't really worry about it. It's not important. Basically, the voice actors, they were they quizzed them about the show. It's kind of meh game show.
It's basic Japanese TV variety.
It was basically like Family Feud, but with the JoJo character, which actually sounds really good, actually. I could make that. I want to watch that.
How well did you do in the quiz?
Well, I didn't. We'll get into this, actually.
Okay.
And then, it was cool. And then the voice actors performed some of their scenes, which was the best part, really.
Yeah.
They would do, they would all do the most dramatic scene from their respective part in the show, which is really good. And then in the end, they announced it, and it went over the time. So it was supposed to be a 2-hour event. And my God, did they talk a lot. They very much, it wasn't fast. It was let's just talk about the show, talk about the scenes. How did the scenes make you feel? Tell us about it. And it was fine. It was fine. But there was a few things that were noteworthy about the event. First of all, is that the subtitles were unusable, unreadable, awful.
Why is that?
So this was a live event.
Yeah.
But a live event that was pre-broadcast.
Yeah.
Like pre-recorded.
Yeah, it was all not broadcast. Sorry, pre-recorded. Right. Totally. Yeah. It was. I'm not sure if it was intentionally going to be... So
it's a live playback, in other words.
It's a live replaying.
They basically just made a YouTube premiere.
Right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's basically it, right?
It was edited like a live Japanese TV show, where it was very minimal, I guess minimal in terms of Japanese editing and stuff on screen.
Bro, next time we do a Trash Taste special, we got to make that pay-per-view now, man.
We do. We should do what are we doing? We're fucking dumb. Just giving it for free? What?
And it's self-funded?
Oh my God. We're smart.
Losing out on our money.
So yeah, it was $40.
Yeah.
Right.
Which, for a live event.
Yeah.
It's a bit hefty. Yeah.
I mean, you could buy a whole season of JoJo on DVD for that or something, right?
You could buy 4 episodes of a JoJo on Blu-ray for that, and don't get me wrong, the event was very good. It was very well made, but it was just tragic because, how many events charge $40 for you to watch them?
Not a lot. I mean, maybe like a concert of like a mid-ranged artist is like $40, right? But
Online though,
Yeah, not online, like-
I think like boxing events are the only
I
thing.
feel
that
like
are up
boxing
there.
ones are the only ones that maybe wrestling. Although
Right,
I'm
true.
not like I don't watch wrestling. But
No.
those are the ones I think of.
yeah,
when
but usually
it's
it's like
pay per view.
Yeah,
price.
usually it's like, if you're paying $40, you have it's a in-person experience, right? Most of the time, I would like to think.
But with boxing as well, they do it online as well, and it's always like a fucking $80.
Oh,
$90,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with boxing, it's different to a lot of other sporting events because people like you're building up months and months to this one moment, whereas other things like football or basketball, there's like constant matches throughout a season, right? But with boxing, you have one event that people build up months to, and that's it. So I can understand the pay-per-view price or that model kind of in that kind of sense.
And boxing fans are hardcore as
This
well.
is where I think, like, do I not understand the Japanese market enough? Because I'm like, is this like the same level as a international boxing event in Japan? Like this JOJO event? Is it like the same level of like everyone's stopping what they're doing now?
Right.
Well,
Watch this.
JoJo fans are.
Yeah, but I wonder. I wonder if this is like, is this the price is this high because they're banking on JoJo fans being as dedicated as they are,
Yeah.
which they are.
Which they are.
Yeah.
Or is it that they think it's that big of an event in general in Japan?
I mean,
that they're charging that
I
much?
feel
I don't
like
know. Am I an idiot?
it's a Japanese business model, period. Because I feel like it's the only country that can sell Blu-rays for like hundreds of dollars for like 4 episodes sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
For a special edition, and people here will still buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And watching this live event was fun because the live tweets were quite interesting. People were not very happy.
Right. On the English side.
It was really on
Yeah.
the English side. It was really interesting seeing how all the negativity got wiped away the moment that like part 6 was announced. And everyone's like, guys, it's worth it. The event was worth it.
2 hours of shit sucks.
Yeah.
I
Well, yeah,
sleep.
because so essentially, right, it was pre-recorded, so this could have been subtitled properly.
Yeah.
It's not, you can get budget subtitles and translations done, for this kind of length. Like, we get subtitles done for the podcast, and I think to get the podcast captioned, it's like $150 an episode. But if you wanted to translate it, I think it would be into Japanese for like an episode like this, which I think is around the same length, is like maybe like $800.
Yeah.
So it's not, in terms of a big business, $800 for that kind of thing, for like low end translating. It's probably not that much,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
exactly.
But instead they decided for some reason to do auto-generated subtitles. And
Never a good sign.
there was like people were just posting screenshots of the subtitles where it's like, I'm gonna kill a kid or something was one of them, or something like really funny out of context. Like it was just really bad.
Yeah.
To the point where it was like, this is unwatchable if you don't know any Japanese.
Yeah.
Like the subtitles were so bad, and it was just like, I just wondered why. Like this is such a good event. Like you have if you're a JoJo fan, this event was amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that if it was on YouTube, it had like 5 million views guaranteed.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, do you think they even thought about the international audience, or were they just
No, of
really
course not.
marketing towards the Japanese audience?
I don't think they were.
Because like even me living in Japan, I only heard about it like the day before, and that's because you fucking posted about it. Like I did not know, like this wasn't talked about at all on my timeline, at least, or I didn't know about it until just as it was happening.
Yeah.
If this was an event, right, where it was only really you were only able to pay in yen, you were only able to buy it from a Japanese website.
Yeah.
I would be like, that's a fair argument. You went on the Japanese
Yeah.
website,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
went out of your way to pay in the currency, and
You're expected
you
to listen
translate-
to it in Japanese.
You knew what you were getting into.
Yeah.
And for
Yeah.
some super fans, if they don't understand a word, that's fine. But for me, it was like, all right, so they're premiering the show in like Singapore, US specifically. They have a website in English.
Right.
They're
Right.
charging you in dollar, and they're telling you that it's going to be subtitled. I think it's kind of fucked up. Like, again, the
Yeah.
event was great, and it's just so sad that they I feel like they mislead people a bit.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely.
Like,
I mean, when have automated subtitles ever worked?
they barely work for captioning the
Yeah.
language that they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
They barely work for our own language when we upload it on YouTube, right? There's auto subtitles.
Like, what were they thinking? This is-
Yeah.
and it's been known to be one of the hardest languages to translate into
Yeah.
English.
Yeah.
I think.
Completely different grammatically.
I think in terms of cost per per minute of translating, Japanese to English is one of the most expensive
I'm not surprised by that.
because it's the
yeah.
hardest, and
Yeah.
there's not many people that can do it.
Well, it's grammatically completely different as well.
Right. So then who decided that this should be like, this is a great idea and we're going to charge $40 for this?
I mean, I would think for a $40 price, you would get like more professional subtitles.
100%.
Like because I guess this is the first I'm hearing about this, but like when I hear live events, I think you understand there's some leeway in an actual live event where it's happening right as it's airing, right? But if it was pre-recorded, then I mean, you could have. There
was nothing about this show that needed to be live.
Yeah,
there was no aspects of it that required a live audience.
Well, if it's pre-recorded, then like it's not
There's
like
no
it's not like the host can interact with the chat or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
So you're telling me you paid $40 just to see a Part 6 announcement?
And I'd do it again, Don.
JoJo fans.
JoJo fans in a nutshell.
Pay for something I would have got like 5 minutes later anyway, but I don't know. I sat down, I was like, this isn't worth $40.
Yeah.
Just the subtitles. The subtitles is just, it's like, at what point is it like, do I need a refund? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how bad do the subtitles have to be where it's like, I can't understand anything that's being said?
Well, I mean, I think that's worthy of a refund, right? Like you paid for something that you didn't even really understand.
Yeah.
And they didn't even like give you the chance to try and understand.
It's really unfortunate as well because people were like dogging on them on Twitter, and then the JoJo anime account tweeted out being like, "Hey guys," because there was a lot of people streaming it on Twitch,
right?
And they were like, "Guys, please don't pirate it." And then there was one. This is like, I feel like as a company, you should never ever say this. You should never ever say the words, "There is no excuse to pirate,"
right?
Because I guarantee within 10 seconds there is going to be 10 people with 10 semi-decent reasons why they pirated it. So, for example, and this is terrible. So this show was only available in the US, Singapore, and I think a few other Asian countries.
Yeah.
No Europe. No Europe at all, right? None of the other American countries, nothing.
Right. Not even Canada.
Not even Canada.
Yeah.
So they were like, they in this tweet, they said, there is no excuse to pirate this thing. Yeah. And then in brackets, they said, sorry for the territory limitations. And I'm thinking like, what?
Oh no.
So what is a European fan supposed to do?
Every European just unanimously was like,
as a European, what am I supposed to do? Tell me what I'm supposed to do.
Just be born better.
Just be born.
Just be born in a better country. Obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Come on.
Obviously, I'm not promoting piracy.
Yeah.
But there is a way as a company that you can word things or go about it.
Just fly to Asia so you can watch it from Asia during a pandemic.
Just live in Japan. Just live in Japan.
You like anime? Just live in Japan.
It's so frustrating because it feels like.
I mean, it feels like this.
You get shafted.
I mean, I feel like companies should already have a understanding that like territory limitations are like, in my opinion, the biggest reason why people pirate.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. And it's been like this since fucking the internet was invented, basically.
Yeah. Like lost media, I firmly believe, you should be able to, if it's abandonware or completely lost, or there's no, I honestly, I think that's okay to pirate. I don't, why would that not be okay? No one has a stake in this anymore.
Yeah, like,
it's literally history.
Isn't PlayStation or Sony shutting down the PS3, PSP and PS Vita stores now.
Yeah.
So even though like because I own a PS Vita, and when I heard that I was like, shit, what if there's a game that I want on the PS Vita? I don't know what it is now, but like I'm not going to be able to obtain it. It's just lost media now, right? Yeah. And if you're not going to make it readily available, then someone's got to archive this, and it's a gray area, but I feel like there is. There is a reason why people do want to pirate and do want to like archive this stuff.
There's definitely like it's not a matter of like, oh, there's no excuse to pirate, when it's like, no, there really is an excuse to pirate because it's literally the only way I'll ever be able to get a hand on it, right?
I mean, it's like if you would get someone who gets into your product who never would have been able to and never would have had a chance to.
Yeah.
Right? And again, with this live stream, it's like, why is this live stream only in some countries? Like, is it because they're perhaps showing scenes from the anime? Is it probably a license? It probably is actually.
It's probably a licensing thing, but still, it's like.
But still, it's a live stream, I mean, it's not like you can't get it in every country.
I mean, I feel like that kind of mentality just hasn't adapted to just how the internet works and just how the community works now in 2021 or even fucking 2010.
Yeah, because all the laws are just completely outdated.
All like the laws are like completely outdated because they're all laws that are made for like television broadcasts and stuff like that, right?
Especially in Japan.
Yeah, especially in Japan, it just wasn't.
I mean, we don't even
designed.
have fair use laws here.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, it's. I feel like at least in the US there is a mentality of, okay, well, technically, live streaming a game and not paying the for a license to do that is technically, legally speaking, you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But all the US companies just kind of agreed it's beneficial, let them do it.
Yeah.
But I feel like
exactly.
in Japan that thing doesn't really happen.
No,
There's not really a thing of it's beneficial, so let them do it. It's just another, it's like when you get events like this, you're just reminded that, you're another one of those anime fans, being a Westerner that, they don't care about you.
I feel like the mentality is slowly. I mean, it took this long for it to change with like Western companies, so God knows how long it's going to change with Japanese companies.
It is changing at a fucking snail's pace. That's for sure.
I mean, I would say at least Japanese companies know that we exist now. That's the biggest difference, right? Because imagine like 5 years ago where they had a American or they had like an English site to promote a Japanese live stream. We are taking very small steps.
We've gone from snail mail to dial-up email.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because it's almost similar to how Japanese games were brought over here, right? Here, well, I'm in Japan.
To the West.
Yeah, well, Japanese games are brought to the West, but I feel like the whole way the gaming industry has gone, it's like decades ahead of where the anime's at. And I wonder if that's because they kind of grew at the same time. Like the culture of gaming in America was its own thing, and the culture of and gaming in Japan was its own thing, and they kind of grew together, benefiting each other. Like they send games to each other. And I wonder if that's the reason why that industry went so fast and why sometimes people can't even tell if a game is from Japan.
Well, yeah, I
right?
think it's
Like,
also because like American games now they're making games in America and in Europe, whereas like I feel the anime industry won't do that until we get dedicated people who are making it in America and making it in Europe.
Because I guess when the Japanese businessmen in like the 80s or 90s are making video games, they were like, oh yeah, there's tons of gaming in the US. Let's go and send our products over there.
Yeah.
Whereas there's like, oh, there's no anime there. Let's not bother doing anything.
No, I would also say that from my perspective, I feel like the anime industry has always been like, in my opinion, like kind of like 10 years or so behind the gaming industry.
I feel like 20 sometimes.
Yeah, 10 to 20 years in terms of the popularity and how big the industry is. Because like gaming right now is probably the most mainstream entertainment medium there is now, right?
Gamers?
Sorry, gaming makes more than movies now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so gaming right now is...
you can't put microtransactions in a fucking movie.
That's true.
You can't roll for your gacha in the middle of Parasite, you know what I mean?
Would you like to watch the rest of this movie? $5, please.
Yeah, but like I would say like within our lifetime, we've seen gamers rise up to become the most biggest entertainment medium in the world now, right?
When are the weebs going to rise up, man?
It used to be movies. Now, do I think anime is going to become as big as gaming? No. But I would say that anime right now is also rising up. Weebs
it's
rise
on its
up.
way. It's on its way. Yeah.
It's on its way. It's getting more popular.
But then isn't it weird though that I feel like all the money that the weebs have is being siphoned off into anime games.
Yeah, that is true.
I bet more
anime games and VTubers.
I bet weebs spend way more on anime games than they do on anime merch and anime.
100%.
100%.
So all the weeb stuff, all the weeb money, they're just going in the fucking games.
It's going to the gaming
It's going to the gamers.
It all comes back to the games. No, yeah. I mean, I feel like probably if you interviewed like the average anime fan, like not the average anime fan, the average weeb, I would say, the average person in the weeb culture, they probably spend more money on like games or like VTubers than they do on an actual like anime.
Like a figurine or a manga or something like that.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, 100%.
It's weird how that's just the way weebs work, but that's what I feel weebs put most of their money into. Maybe in 2020, maybe it's because there haven't been like anime conventions or other things they can buy. But I would say that the more I watch anime, the less I buy like figurines and stuff like that. You know, do you feel like? I mean, you're a hardcore JoJo fan, right? So you put a lot of your money into JoJo merch.
But I invest in JoJo stock.
Yeah. But now, like you look for like the most exclusive stuff, right? You don't just buy like the cheap. Casual
I
thing,
don't.
Right?
Like if the figure's under like $50, I'm not interested.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, that's peasant stuff. Get that out of here. Because those figures are also cheap, and also when you realize that you start collecting a lot of figures, the one thing that becomes more valuable than the figures is the room they take up.
Yeah.
So then you're like, all right, now I have to decide which figures are worthy of the display.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
so I have to be
I'm
careful
like
now.
starting to do that too with like exclusive like paintings or like limited
Right,
merch
right.
items and stuff like that.
I'm
like,
sure that sounds so fucking.
sounds so fucking.
I'm so wealthy.
Yes, I'm an art collector.
But it's like, you know, when you do start collecting figures and you start getting a lot, you're like, you know, this $5 Goku figure, you know, I kind of can't argue it deserved the same spot as this $200 hand sculpted Rem fucking like DNA engraved, you know, thing.
Like not even figurines though, but like anytime I go to an anime convention or stuff like that, I much rather buy shit from the artist alley and things that independent artists are doing, because most of the time they make cooler stuff than the official figures most of the time, or the official merchandise. It's just like I don't understand people who go to anime conventions and they buy buttons. To me, buttons are the stickers for me, right?
Like the metallic.
I hate buttons.
Japan
man.
is fucking obsessed
I
with
know,
those.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
everywhere.
Why?
Whenever I go to like a pop-up shop for like you hear an announcement where, oh, there's a pop-up shop for like X anime series or Y anime series, and I remember the first few times I thought, wow, cool, they got exclusive merch there, and it's like 90% of them are just buttons. And to me, like, buttons are the merch you buy when you don't when you can't commit to buying an actual merchandise. You know? That's what
That's when
buttons
you
are
have
to
that
me.
chump change in your pocket.
Yeah,
You're like,
right.
I can pay for this. Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of, you know, when you go abroad and you're like, oh, I guess I got to buy a souvenir, right?
Yeah,
you go
yeah.
to Paris and you go like, oh, I guess I got to buy like a fucking Eiffel Tower key ring.
Yeah, it's literally the equivalent of like, I was here. Yeah. It's like, I was at that pop-up store. Here is physical proof. I was at that pop-up store. A 500 yen shitty like can, like tin can thing.
Yeah.
But then they gadgetify it, so you can't even buy the one you want. You have to,
Yeah,
you have to
exactly.
buy like 500 fucking buttons until you get the one you want.
There are people though that I see that have, you know, like
Oh, the whole bags.
their
like
entire
that.
bag or their entire like denim jacket or whatever is just like covered in them, and they sound like a fucking festival. When
Why would
walking
you put a
through the
bunch of
town.
barnacles on your clothes? As far as I'm concerned, right? That's what it looks like. It looks ugly. It's ugly, and I won't stand for it.
People like it, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
One thing about the JoJo event though, that I wish that anime did have more of these kinds of events, because I would say like one thing that always makes me jealous as an anime fan from watching, you know, the gaming community is that having this live event where they have like a load of things announced at once, right? Like I've always been.
Oh, you want an E3 of anime?
I kind of do.
I would love the presentations.
Like honestly,
Check this out.
like, honestly, half the fun of E3 is just feeling like it's just like feeling like you're part of a community and just watching it and just reacting to it, right? Because like to me, like the closest thing anime has is like the anime awards, right? But we don't really have any. What?
Just the mental image,
Just the
right?
thought of just some guy coming up like, guys, I'm proud to announce Incest the anime. Me at the team at Incest Anime have worked really hard. Like
This time,
deadass.
this time in 8K.
Most anime, I do not want to know the thought process as to why this came to be, and I do not want.
Do you want
I
to
do
know-
not want some 50-year-old man telling me why he thinks this 12-year-old girl should fuck this 20-year-old man. I don't want that. I don't want to see a presentation of that. That is the last thing I want. And I also
We heard you.
do you care
We're
about-
here to deliver.
We hear you, guys. We hear you. You
More
guys want
incest.
more sister fucking, right?
last time we heard that the plot got in the way of the incest, so we decided to just go to Bang Bros.
We upgraded that.
Guys, we hear you. You want another isekai?
I just imagine they're like, check this out, the fucking Pornhub fucking thing plays. Oh my
No, but like,
gosh.
do you care about most of the games that get announced that are like
No.
you wait for that one JoJo Part 6 announcement.
Yeah.
You wait for, I don't know, what else?
I just think that we should get more live events to announce anime just for the hype factor. Like it makes such
Yeah, no,
hype.
that's what I miss. I like the hype factor in that the gaming community have. You know, I feel like it adds to this community aspect and it adds to the fun. You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
true,
Japan kind of has that already.
Do they?
Yeah, on Nico Nico, they have this event called Tsuzukimi, which I did the English version of at AX last time. But yeah, it's literally like a live event where they get a bunch of like voice actors and hosts to announce the next season of anime.
Man, maybe they should subtitle this and fuck it up. Like, maybe you could subtitle it.
Well, like imagine how hype it would be when like you hear like a Chainsaw Man adaptation instead of just seeing it on Twitter, right? You have this event where you're like, oh, it's fucking, is the next show
teaser trailer?
Yeah, the teaser trailer where you're like, oh, is this Chainsaw Man? Is this like Jujutsu Kaisen before those got animated? Like there's
they just play like scenes of the anime. You're like,
like there are some manga series I know people are waiting for. Like imagine like one day Vagabond gets announced or some shit like that.
I would
I'd lose my
spot.
shit. And I think it would be cool if anime had this kind of event where we just announce a bunch of new anime getting adapted.
Why? We should do that. Honestly, like we're saying this idea, I'm just like, if no one's gonna do it,
anime companies, reach out to us.
yeah, please,
We'll do
it.
It just feels hard being an anime fan, Fuck, we spend a fuck ton of money. We get beat down on, fuck, man. It's hard when you're not Japanese.
This episode is sponsored by Honey.
We all shop online, and we've all seen that promo code field taunt us at the checkout. But thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past. Honey is the free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best ones it finds to your cart. Honey supports over 30,000 stores online. They range from sites that have tech and gaming products to popular fashion brands and even food delivery. Did you know that, boys?
Here's how it works. Imagine you're shopping on one of your favorite sites. When you reach the checkout, the Honey button drops down and all you have to do is click apply coupons. Wait a few seconds as Honey searches for coupons it can find for that site. And if Honey finds a working coupon, you'll watch as the prices drop.
The other day, gentlemen, a third-party delivery service app was not working. So I needed to go through a pizza supplier directly, and I saved $10 on a $45 meal.
That's an expensive pizza, but I'm glad
Welcome
you
to
saved the
Japan.
money.
Honey has found its over 17 million members, over $2 billion in savings. If you don't already have Honey, you can literally be straight up missing on free savings. It's literally free and installs in a few seconds.
And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this podcast.
I never recommend something I don't use.
Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/trashtaste. That's joinhoney.com/trashtaste. Back to the episode.
And it's like people watching award shows, right? Because, okay, here's the thing. Nobody actually watches an award show to like see who wins or to like congratulate the winners. We watch it to get salty and to feel like we're part of a conversation.
Like a sporting
right?
event.
Yeah. It is kind of like a sporting event for like entertainment, right? I mean, that's why people watch, the anime awards, the gaming awards, and also like the Oscars as well, which apparently just aired yesterday and nobody watched.
At the time of recording,
At the time of recording.
It was.
I didn't know it aired until the day after. I was
Well,
like, the Oscars aired?
Yeah,
No one said anything.
I only knew about it because I saw a tweet of some guy who like put down a list of the past 10 years worth of like viewers, and apparently it was like the lowest in, I think, ever.
I think it had halved in 1 year, but that's also
Yeah.
because we didn't really have any big theatrical releases
We
this
didn't
year.
really have
Yeah.
any movies in 2020.
Yeah, most
right?
movies went to HBO Max or
Yeah.
Netflix or whatever. And also, I feel that I didn't realize now until this year. Oh my god! All those ads that these movies pay for and all the like the promotional tours and whatnot really do work, because I don't know anything about movies unless they're doing these like promotional tours.
Yeah, same here.
I don't like what
Like
movies came out.
I haven't heard of like a single really big movie that came out in 2020. Obviously, because
I only know about the Snyder Cut because that was like a meme because it was 4
yeah,
hours long.
the Snyder Cut was probably the biggest kind of movie, and
Yeah.
then
That was a re-release.
I think the only movie I watched last year, not even in cinemas, but like afterwards, was Tenet.
Oh yeah, I watched Tenet in theaters. That's really good.
I didn't even watch that.
So fucking good.
I know.
liked
I
it.
heard so many people saying it's great.
It's the most Nolan movie you can ever
it's very
imagine.
much.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
It's almost as if South Park wrote a parody of a Christopher Nolan film, and then they made it.
Like, do you know what the main character is called?
Tell me.
He's called the protagonist.
Shit,
You know, the main character is just called the protagonist. He doesn't have a name. He's called the protagonist.
It's like a fucking Nishio issue.
Dude, the fucking, even if the story is kind of dumb, the like the visuals in that movie are so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah,
also Robert Pattinson, I fucking love. I think he's an amazing actor. I will watch anything.
Oh, yeah,
with him
he's
in it.
fucking
because I feel like watching Tenet, I was just like, Nolan's obviously just given up on the script. He just has a lot of cool ideas for visuals, and the visuals were
cool.
fucking cool. But I pay attention to the plots and the characters for a second, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Watching it in the movies was like so exhausting. It was literally like I was posing like this, like. So it's backwards in time. Okay. 'Cause it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's good fun. It was one of those movies that I couldn't imagine watching at home. I feel like the big screen
I watched
helped.
it at home.
Broke.
It took me 2 times to watch because the first time I just got really bored in the first half.
What?
In the first half, right? Because the first half is all plot, right?
They had us in the first.
Yeah,
half.
yeah. Because like I was like, I'm not following what's going on. I really don't care about
I'm like,
any of
I
these
sleep
people.
until Robert Pattinson comes on. And I'm like, I'm paying attention. All right, what's up? He's so good. I love him in everything.
He's a fantastic actor.
He's
Yeah.
so fucking good. Have you watched The Lighthouse?
Yeah, I've seen that.
I love The Lighthouse.
What's Lighthouse?
It's a movie with him and who's the guy who played Jesus Christ? Fuck, what is his name? Willem
Dafoe.
Ryuk. Who can forget his famous reel of Ryuk in Death Note live action?
The famous 4 lines he said in that movie.
Yeah. Willem Dafoe is a fucking amazing actor, and they're both in it, and they're both going crazy. It's fucking amazing. I won't spoil it. Go and watch it. It's
Yeah.
kind of an artsy film, but it's really good. It's really, really good. You should watch it.
Yeah.
Go
How many
watch
films do you watch?
it. Not many. Maybe.
You probably go to the cinemas though the most out of all of us though, right?
Yeah, but I don't care what I watch at the movies. I'm just like,
How do you not care about what you watch?
It is just stimulus in my eyes.
we'll come back to the Oscars. We'll talk about that. But
Yeah.
okay, because I enjoy just the experience of the theater. I like the popcorn. I like the fact that I can.
So
I can ignore my phone.
how often do you watch films at home?
Oh, never.
Yeah, because you're mostly just like a Netflix
Netflix,
documentary
yeah,
kind of
Netflix
guy, right?
documentary
Yeah.
kind of
Because I'm the complete opposite. I only go to the cinemas if I know there's a banger film I need to watch. If
I
not,
am
I'm
the
just
same,
like,
yeah.
I just watch it at home. on the-
Pre-Rona, I was going like maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks.
Damn.
Because it was just like there was always something on, and they would always do reruns. So I watched in Japan. I watched The Shawshank Redemption in
cinemas?
In cinemas. Isn't that weird?
Why would you just not watch that at home?
Why not? I never got to watch it on the big screen. Let's go and have a look. The best film of all time, according to IMDb. Why would I not want to experience it on the big screen?
I mean, it's a great film, don't get me
It's
wrong.
fantastic film.
But you can also watch
I
it.
also don't feel bad if I want to go and get more, drinks and popcorn. I've already seen it like 10 times.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you just want the popcorn.
I really, okay.
You want to eat
Can,
popcorn in a big room.
can you not eat popcorn at home?
No, not really. I legitimately don't go to the movies, the theater now, because they don't sell popcorn in the Rona. I don't want to go.
Oh,
Not
really?
because there's a pandemic. Just no popcorn.
They're not saying that because of the pandemic. But if let's say the pandemic was still on, I would very much
You
socially
can sneak
distance.
some fucking popcorn in.
I don't want to bring my popcorn. I want
Why?
their popcorn.
You want the overpriced fucking popcorn?
Actually,
where
it's
you-
reasonably priced in Japan, at least.
it?
I do not want to go. I'm sure there's someone out there who agrees. I do not want to go to the fucking cinema if I'm not getting popcorn. I just don't want to.
I don't think I've ever bought popcorn at the cinemas.
I'll legitimately go to a restaurant before. I'll be full as fuck. I'll be like gagging at how full I am, and I'll be like, one large popcorn, please.
I don't know what's going on.
yeah. I'll literally be dying, but I'm like, I do not care. I have to get popcorn.
What I don't understand is some people, like some of my friends, who we go to the movies or we go to the cinema, and it's at this awkward time of like 1 or 1:30. You know,
I'm getting popcorn.
and it's just like, do you eat lunch before or do you not eat lunch before? And some people are just
before.
like, the popcorn is my lunch, and I'm just like, how the fuck is popcorn lunch?
Popcorn is not anything. No, I'm pretty sure you can't even live off popcorn. Now.
It's not a meal.
I'm pretty sure it's negative calories. right? Feels like it.
I mean, you're kind of just eating air, right?
Yeah. One time in Japan, I spilled my popcorn over the floor, and I think that ruined the whole movie for me. I think that legitimately made
Wait,
the
did
whole.
you spill it
What
during
was
the
the-
movie?
what was the movie that you were watching?
Before it started. I don't even know. I don't remember. I was literally distraught. For the first 40 minutes of the film, I was actually just so sad.
Like, don't buy popcorn.
I was genuinely, when it fell over, when you're so sad about something bad happening,
Yeah.
that you just sit there for like 10 seconds and just let it soak about how sad you are. You're like,
all around me.
yeah. Like, you break, like you drop your phone and it smashes. You don't go like, oh my God. You're like,
Yeah, you guys just stare at it, right? You don't even go to pick it up immediately. You
you're
just
just
kind of like
so
look at it.
overwhelmed
Yeah,
with
yeah.
emotions and sadness that you just stand there.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And like that, I
Yeah.
had that moment.
I get that feeling, but not when I drop popcorn.
No, I mean, I get it. It's whenever I drop any kind of food item or drink item I've just bought.
There was something. I've broken my phone before. I've broken expensive items, and there is something that just hurts so much about dropping food or drink on the floor.
Oh yeah, no.
There's nothing
can't be matched.
There's nothing that hurts me more than buying a fresh pint and then immediately dropping it, or like a pint just falling off a tray as you're taking it to the table.
I think I'd rather drop my firstborn child than my popcorn. If I'm not completely honest with you. I heard Maylee laughing.
At least you can pick it back up.
The baby can take a hit. I'm pretty sure I took many hits. My popcorn doesn't take a hit. I can't eat that shit. Right now, especially if you pick that up, everyone will look at you.
Yeah, exactly.
As much as I would want to pick it, part of me is like, is the top layer of the popcorn on the floor okay at least? Can I at least scoop some of it back in?
At least it's not directly touching it.
It's like how much of this popcorn has fallen out.
I'm not gonna lie. I want to say that I'm hygienic, but if I see if shut the fuck up. If like, let's say a bunch of nachos fell on the floor, I would be tempted to just be like,
no, not nachos. Nachos is where I draw the line.
I would be tempted to be like, the bottom layer is cushioned.
Scrape off the top, right?
Is cushioned. I will grab the top layer and I would eat that.
No,
I would eat that.
Oh. Like popcorn, it comes in pieces, right? Because popcorn, you can scrape off the top layer. You can scrape off the layer.
Let's say you could get the bucket that you have with it. I would maybe I would like kind of shuffle some of the top ones back in if they were in.
You floated up slightly.
Yeah. I would tilt it 40-degree angle and see what I can like kind of scoop back in from the top layer. Right? Nachos for me is a little too wet.
Nachos is way too wet.
It's like chili. I spill chili on the floor. Start grabbing
Scrape
it.
the top layer.
Like French fries, right? Let's say that all the French fries fell on the floor. A part of me would be tempted to be like, the top 40% of these French fries, perfect.
Yeah, no, because
I'm gonna start grabbing.
Okay, because one, so there are two factors.
Sound so vile to some
No,
people.
I'm the same.
There are two factors you need to consider. One, what is the ground? Is it like a clean? What is the ground? No. Because if it's
carpet,
like clean
carpet is the worst.
Carpet's the worst because you got like all the shit and like you got all the dust and shit. If you drop it on the street floor, that's just like that is game over.
Yeah.
You have to say goodbye right there.
Wood laminate flooring. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe we can salvage most of this.
Yeah. Secondly, you need to consider what is the food item that you've just dropped.
True.
Right? Is it liquid? How viscous is this food item?
You're gonna get straw.
like popcorn, it comes in little pieces. You can just like scoop off the bottom layer and just leave that on the floor and just like it's like the safety layer. You have like the bottom layer and then a safety layer just in case anything on the second layer touch the floor.
Have like made its way
up.
Yeah. What if you drop a chocolate bar on the floor? You just like pick it up and scrape it off, let it dirt.
Chocolate bar.
I do that.
Chocolate bar, yeah. Honestly, it depends. Like it's a
Give it a rinse.
It's a solid piece of food, right? So it depends on the floor that it's touched.
I treat it like an NES cartridge. I just kind of blow on it. Just blow off the dust. It's like, it's good enough. I've got an immune system for a reason.
1 week later, we have the Rona. What went wrong?
I won't do it now, but like during high school, like if I like dropped a sandwich, for example, right? Like depending on how it landed, like if the sandwich perfectly lands on the ground, that bottom piece of bread rip. I'll take everything else.
You're tearing that piece off. Let's be honest.
I'm taking everything else on top of it.
Yeah.
I'm not wasting food. Fuck that.
I like how we suddenly went from disgusting to maybe there's the situations. I
don't want to waste food, man.
The point is, I would rather drop my child. TLDR. I'm pretty sure my parents dropped me. I'm pretty sure I'm fine, right?
I don't think there's a single parent who didn't drop their child. Come on now.
This is why I am terrified of holding a child. I don't think in my 30 years of being alive, I don't think I've properly held a baby in my life.
I've seen people in Japan where they're on their bikes, they have the kid in the carriage behind them, and they have the kid in the backpack on them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is
hard mode.
This is an accident waiting to happen. Like, it feels sketch as fuck.
Whichever way you fall, you got cushioning.
God, Joey.
Just kidding.
I don't know. That's why I never understand whenever one of my family members has a baby or something, and they dead ass look me in the eye and go, "Do you want to hold this baby?" And I'm just like, "Why would you trust a literal life in my hands? Like, I don't trust myself to hold that. Does this thing come with a fucking instruction manual? Like, how do I operate this thing? I don't.
I always wonder. Like, I'm like, how do you like
Kind of like cup it like that.
Do you kind of like take it from
As
the
someone
bottom?
who has many pictures of me holding babies, I can
It's
tell
like, do you take it from the bottom or like under the arm?
you do like this. You like kind of like rest them like this.
I know how to do it now, but like when I was like 14, someone
Who,
gave me a
who
baby.
told you how to do it? No one's ever told me how to properly hold a
Maternal
baby.
instincts, isn't it? Carl?
Trial by fire. Many babies.
I used to grab them. I used to grab them by the temple like this. Realized I didn't like that when I started.
Because I think because like I'm terrified of it because every single time, bar none, that I've tried to hold a pet, it's tried to wriggle out, and I'm just thinking, shit, if this fucking animal is trying to wriggle out of my grasp, I do not want to hold a human life in my hands and risk dropping a human life on
Babies
the
don't
floor.
wiggle; they just complain.
Yeah.
They're like British people.
I don't think I've ever seen a baby like get held by someone and be like, "Fuck off me."
What are you doing?
It's like, no.
All right, go
Anyway, back to movies.
Yeah.
What were we
The
saying about
viewership
movies?
sucked for the Oscars. That was
Yeah.
the overall part.
was
But
like-
then again, like I feel like the Oscars just can't win right now. I feel like no matter what they do, they're gonna lose. Like if they pander more to or change the demo and focus more on mainstream movies, the movies that people are actually watching, I feel like the whole integrity of because you can't
The artistic integrity, right?
fucking give 10 Oscars to Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Like, as much as like for the fact that the Harry Potter movies never got an Oscar for anything
Yeah.
for the whole movie run, I do feel is a bit of a shame.
Yeah.
Because I do feel
Yeah.
during that time they were just kind of shunned for the fact that they were seen as just mainstream garbage. And I genuinely think that Harry Potter could have won in certain areas, especially like set design. Well, there was so many times where Harry Potter could have won an Oscar.
Oh,
They never
absolutely,
did.
yeah.
And I feel like a lot of disdain was built up during that period. Where
I mean, I feel like the Oscars just has not aged well as time has gone on because, like, I mean,
and then they got caught up in the whole woke culture.
yeah,
Which I felt like when you get into that debate, you've just lost. Because
Yeah.
you're going to upset someone.
yeah, because once you get into the woke culture debate, then you lose whatever side you go on.
Yeah.
You lose whatever
gonna make
side you
enemies
either
no matter
pander on
what,
or
yeah.
even don't pander on, or even if you say nothing, you are still losing.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that was the start of really the decline of the Oscars, along with just the fact that.
It's all kind of the same.
Along with the fact that the more years I watch the Oscars, or the more years because I don't even like watch the Oscars that often, but like the more years I watched it, the more years I realized, man, I just don't know any of these movies.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Well, because I think they had a few years, where there was a lot of artsy films that were winning, which, I'm sure they deserve them.
Yeah.
But I think as a mainstream viewer, most people don't fucking know what that is.
No.
Yeah.
Like, what was that one movie that there's been a bunch of movies that have won Best Picture. I'm like, what?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like Parasite was the first movie that won Best Picture that I was like, I know that movie. I've
Yeah.
seen that movie.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Yeah.
But like a bunch of other years, I've been like, what? What? Who won?
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem with the Oscars for me is that even if something wins Best Picture, I mean, Parasite was one of the only Best Movie winners where I was actually.
I feel like everyone was happy that.
Yeah,
that won. That
everyone
felt
was happy with
yeah.
that. That was the first time when I saw people actually happy, like mostly unanimously be like, yeah, Parasite deserves it. It's
Yeah.
a fucking great film.
Yeah.
Because most of the times when I see a Best Picture winner on the Oscars, I watch it and I'm just like, yeah, this is very much an Oscar movie.
Yeah.
And I can see why it's so highly rated, but I just didn't find it that interesting personally.
This is what happens when, there's an institution that goes on for too long, right? It's got all these built up, things that they've been doing for years. Like if you want to be in the Oscars, you have to do a bunch of dumb shit and hold events for the people doing it and basically just pay them.
Pay them out.
Pay them to get in considered for it.
Yeah.
And that whole shit is dumb. That's not how it should be done at all. I don't think
No.
I don't think anybody wants a system where to be included in an award show, you have to there's a pay to win, essentially. I mean, obviously you don't pay to win, but you pay to enter, which, I mean, why not just make it so that the best picture gets nominated for best
you
picture?
literally have to like win the hearts of the judge by
Yeah.
catering to them, not by making something good.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of ass backwards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it says something when I think that, like, somehow, something like the Crunchyroll Anime Awards has a better system than the Oscars, where they have a mix of, like, fan
Yeah.
vote. And obviously, if you do fan vote, you can kind of
People
guess
are still
what's gonna
salty,
happen.
but
Right.
Yeah.
But I think having that kind of fan vote in the equation to say, hey, this is what the fans are thinking,
Yeah.
just letting you know. Just letting you know.
But
Yeah.
it also, by making a fan voting system, it gets those fans to actually watch the show.
Right,
as
get
well,
them
right?
involved.
no, it doesn't. No, fans vote for what they watch. They don't vote for every show that they on the list.
No, but what I'm saying is like they're more inclined to actually watch the awards show to see who won if they vote for it.
I mean, they
Maybe.
definitely. I'd say
More so than
Yeah,
like
more so.
leaving it to an unknown committee of people,
Yeah,
right? To
yeah.
be like,
Well-
this is the best film. No one can argue about it.
I mean, I don't know how many judges there are. There's quite a lot. It's like 500 or something.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would completely estimate. Maybe Ashley can check how many Oscar judges there are.
yeah.
I don't think is the exact number known.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I think having some form of weighting, like 5% by the fan or just something, like where the fans can kind of have some form of
Yeah, like the Game
sway.
Awards, right? I mean,
Right.
the Game Awards. I feel like I don't know the exact number. I feel like it's like 10% is like the fan voted part.
That
of
seems
the
good
award.
to me. That why not?
At least we know what everyone else is thinking. Even if because I feel like the Oscars is everything I hate about pretentious Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because it's putting these people, it's putting this work on a fucking pedestal.
Yeah.
Where an award show should be just about celebrating what everyone loved that came out in the year. I mean, it's become like this whole other political message and.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's what happens when the weight of an Oscar becomes what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can make your career off winning an Oscar, right?
Yeah.
If you win one early on, I imagine the amount you start charging people for your work goes up significantly.
Yeah.
So it's understandable why it all comes in, but it's just.
I mean,
tough.
that's why I've always enjoyed other kind of award shows. Like whenever Ricky Gervais hosts the Golden Globes, that's just
It's like rich people get roasted 4K.
like I'd take that any day over the Oscars.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's very good. I do enjoy that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Oscars is always the same shit. It's like, and now, for somebody who worked hard, there have been struggles and sacrifices, but they worked hard and won the award. And it's like, great. This is like
as if everybody is not working hard.
It's like, you could put all the Oscar speeches into a learning algorithm, and I bet it will predict what the next speech is.
Auto-generated.
Genuinely, like it feels
Oscar
like it sometimes.
acceptance.
Like you got fucking Brad Pitt did the speech for Best Picture. Best Actor, I think, or one of them. I can't remember which one. And it's like you have Brad Pitt, and then you give him this napkin-esque McDonald's like commercial speech, and it's like, why not get them to do something fun?
Yeah.
Why not get them to do something that'll get people interested, like to actually talk like properly? I don't know. It's just like I don't want to fucking watch a McDonald's ad read.
Go on, Ashley. How many people are in the Oscar committee?
The Academy is made up of more than 9,000 voting members.
Jesus.
All are film industry professionals,
Wow.
based and almost half are active filmmakers.
So roughly 10,000 people.
But then
That is a lot of
I do
people.
also think if there is 9,000 people who are judging who are from the film industry, that's also kind of a problem in itself.
Right.
Is
Yeah.
that the people who are working in the industry are the ones who are deciding the votes? Because
Because I guarantee none of them are like film critics or anything like that, right?
well, no, I mean, yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, there might be film critics.
It might be,
Maybe,
but I
but-
mean, if there's people who are working on the films that are voting, I think that's a problem.
That's a bit of a bias happening, right?
A little bit, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you might not. I don't know what the rules are.
I
Behind
mean,
that,
to me, there is no perfect system for like an award show, right? But I
either
think
way, the way it is
e-
now isn't working. clearly.
either way, the way it is now is just not capturing the public's like interest.
Interest, yeah.
Also, why isn't it being live streamed? Come on, Oscars. We're in the fucking 21st century.
Yeah,
Live
it's
stream that
like,
shit.
how do people watch the Oscars? Is it pay per view?
It's on like US TV.
It's on TV.
Well,
Yeah.
why is it not on fucking YouTube or Twitch? Come on, I want a PogChamp with the fucking. Could you imagine best supporting actor and there's just fucking Monka S right before it gets announced? Like I want that. Like best actor, Shrek wins the Oscar. Just fucking like Shrek Pogs in the chat. Like this would be fun as fuck. Like what are you doing? This is great. This is how you get people into it.
Yeah.
Like if you could do channel point like gambling, because you can do gamble, right? Like I can do mods do this thing on my stream, right? Do this prediction.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if you could do that?
I bet so and so is gonna win.
Yeah, it's like right when they're announcing the nominations, boom, the prediction comes in. Press your channel point. Do you know what I mean? This is like why?
I mean,
Why
I feel
not?
like this is why the Game Awards is just so much more fun to me
Right.
to watch as like a viewer than any kind of film award show
Yeah.
or
Right.
other kind of award show.
Absolutely.
You can still stick all the sponsors in. You can fluff the viewership numbers because they'll definitely be higher.
Yeah.
You can do so much more. Like it just to me, it's like. Yeah, I mean, it's just the whole system of just old systems in place that they're have to answer to. And all
Yeah,
that
just not bothering
nonsense.
to change a
Shit.
system.
Yeah. I mean, to me, the Oscars has always been that thing where it's just been on in the background and people have talked about it, but I'm just like, yeah, I mean,
When was the last time you cared about who won an Oscar?
I don't even
It's-
remember.
I don't even
remember the last.
fucking remember.
I don't even
Shrek
remember the
winning
last
Best
time.
Animated.
I don't even remember the last time I sat down to watch the Oscars or the
can't,
Grammys
'cause
or anything like that.
Where the fuck do you watch it? You're not American. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you can watch it like back in Australia, but
Yeah.
not here anymore.
I didn't even know where to watch it in the UK. I don't know, it's pretty
Yeah, when was the last time you cared about a winner? Because I feel like before Parasite, I can't.
Shrek winning Best Animated Picture.
I think the last time
Did
I
it
cared,
actually?
Yeah, it is. Shrek won.
Oh no, okay. Best animated picture. I feel like that's a. It's either going to be Shrek
was always
or
Disney
it's
or
going to be
Ghibli.
either Disney or Shrek. Like wake me when an anime actually wins best
Well,
animated
Spirited Away
picture.
won, right?
Yeah, that's the only time
Yeah,
an
that's
anime.
that's probably the last time I
That's-
cared
that's-
about
that's
it.
the last
And that
time
was
I-
like 2006 or something like
I think
that.
that was 2002.
Surprised
wasn't it?
Your Name didn't win anything.
It got nominated though.
Did it get nominated?
Yeah.
It did get nominated, but it obviously didn't win.
Yeah.
This is so sad. Imagine this Pepe hands, you know, like when it lost, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like the anime has always just been fluffed by the Oscars, no matter what. I mean,
Oh,
wasn't it that one year that Boss Baby got nominated over
yeah, it did.
A Silent Voice or something like that?
Let's go.
I mean, I think as well, I heard that like the only reason why Spirited Away won is because like one of the head people at Pixar like really personally vouched for it.
Yeah,
they
I
also
mean,
got a dub by Disney.
Yeah, exactly.
Ghibli's the only thing that's been noticed by Ghibli's been the only thing that's been noticed by Disney.
Yeah.
And
Well, because they saw it and they're like, holy shit, this is better animated than all our stuff. What the fuck? What's going on?
holy shit, these guys are still doing 2D animation.
the fuck?
What?
Yeah.
That's the fucking dedication right there.
Yeah, exactly.
TLDR, nobody cares about the Oscars anymore
Yeah.
until they live stream it, and I can do monkey
Live
ass.
stream it, then I'll wait. Then I'll be
Honestly,
awake.
honestly, I'd watch because then people would be like, if they let people like live stream it as well and watch it live, man, their
Yeah.
viewer numbers would be massive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe that'll get me to watch more films as well. 'cause
Yeah, exactly.
No, I do want to watch more films. It's been weird seeing films released online on like HBO
I
Max
do not like it.
and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I think it's just reaffirmed for me that I just love the movie theater and I love the experience, and that I hope that it never goes away.
No, it's
Well,
great. Like I love going to it, but it's like I'm not like you where I can just watch anything. Like
Yeah, I
it
mean,
needs to be a movie that I want to
Yeah,
watch.
I just enjoy the atmosphere so much that I will go and watch anything.
I feel like there are some movies that I would prefer to watch in movie theaters than
Tenet.
others. Like, sorry,
Tenet.
Tenet maybe actually. I feel like that would have been cool in the movie theaters. But I like any action flick. I feel like would be better in the movie
100%.
theaters.
100%, yeah.
Like I feel like I missed out on something not watching
Well,
John
those
Wick.
fucking car scenes in Tenet where they're like fucking going back in time and zooming forward, it was so good in the theater. It was amazing.
I need to watch it this week.
It's so good, dude. You do.
It's good just for the visuals and just
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's by far one of the most visually interesting like films I've ever seen.
Super interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I want to watch more movies. I just really can't watch movies at home because I put it on and I see that fucking 2-hour thing counting down. I'm like, oh, that's a long time. That's a long time to focus. Damn.
Right.
To me,
But then I
it's
watch
a-
an hour and a half YouTube video. Like no
Yeah.
questions
Yeah.
asked.
To me, it's I don't know something about a movie, and it's the commitment. Like once I've put a movie on, I'll fucking watch it. But it's bringing myself to willing myself to even put that movie on in the first place. That I find trouble with.
Yeah, I think to myself, I'm like, all right, I can watch this movie. It's like an hour and a half, but at the same time, I could also watch like 3 30-minute YouTube videos that I wanted to watch as well, right? It's like, I could do that. I think I might prefer that.
I could just watch random YouTube videos for an hour and a half that
Yeah.
I don't really care about.
I could watch like 320-second meme clips on YouTube.
True. I've been doing a lot of that recently. Oh my god.
I mean, that's because that's all that's been coming up on my recommended.
I don't know what's going on with YouTube recently, but they just stopped recommending YouTube videos and started recommending YouTube like shit posts. It's like,
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like Twitter
only.
videos.
Yeah, legit. It's so weird.
If I get a recommendation nowadays and it's like above a minute, I'm like, oh, this must be a fucking special video. Oh, okay.
What was the one we watched before we started recording?
The chonk chart.
The chonk chart.
That's my favorite video that's been recommended recently.
It's brilliant.
But no, it's gotten to the point now where like even all the comment sections can all agree on what like everyone's got recommended the same playlist because everyone's quoting the same videos even though they're quoting a different video on a different meme video and everyone gets the reference even though it's not on any kind of playlist or anything like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's like people watch 2 hours of Trash Taste and they'll be like, no movie for me. 2 hour of Trash Taste podcast.
Yeah.
Let's go. It's like, oh wow, okay, thank you, I'm on it.
Yeah, thanks.
Did you guys used to watch more movies back in the day?
Oh,
Or-
100%, yeah.
Well, yeah, when I was like 15, I loved it. But that's when
Yeah.
you discover like that you can watch things online.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
well, she can tell me I can watch any movie I want by just typing the name into Google? What the fuck? Are you for real? Like that was like a massive revelation in my life. I was like, oh my God.
Did you guys go through that IMDb top 100 movie phase?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh no, top 250 movie phase.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what the first movie I've watched illegally was?
What?
It was like the Hannah Montana movie.
How do you remember this?
I just remember that was when I discovered that you could watch it.
Is that the one where it's like the best of both worlds?
I think so. I don't remember what it was, but I remember.
It's like the one where she's on tour or some shit.
Yeah, there was like a dance to it as well.
Yeah.
Because I remember that someone kept walking up and getting up in front of the camera for the movie.
Oh, it's one of those.
Well, the way see, this is the thing, right? This is like the more you get older and the more you have money, your tolerance for the quality.
Oh yeah.
That you will. So when you're like 12, you will watch anything for some reason. You're like people standing up in front of the camera, shaky cam quality. No problem. I'll watch it. And the moment you get like a HD DVD rip, you're like, I can't go back.
It's like 480p, unacceptable.
Wait, why isn't it shaking? Why is there no artifact? Why is no one standing up in front of the camera? What's going on? You know?
Oh my God.
Yeah, to
Sorry,
me,
it was just I just remembered that.
yeah, to me, it was always like the ripped DVDs that sellers in Thailand would just sell. So we'd have like literal shops where you'd have like just DVD cases.
And they still do that.
Yeah, they still do that now, right? This episode of Trash Taste is sponsored by LiquidIV.
When you push your body hard or just feel run down, it's extremely important to stay hydrated. Making hydration a priority helps us feel healthier on a day-to-day basis. And luckily, with just one stick of LiquidIV in 16 ounces of water, you get 2 to 3 times the amount of hydration as plain water god.
I love hydration. You know, sometimes I get a little hungover. And when I say sometimes, I mean a lot. And what helps me get through the hangover is LiquidIV. Unironically, I literally drank it this weekend because I was hungover.
My personal favorite flavor is actually the lemon lime flavor.
Really? Mine's actually the passion fruit flavor.
Damn, good choice, Jerry. Did you also know that LiquidIV can provide 2 to 3 times more hydration than water alone, containing 5 essential vitamins, more vitamin C than an average orange, and as much potassium as a banana, and also healthier than sugary sports drink, no artificial flavors or preservatives, and less sugar than an apple, made with clean ingredients, non-GMO vegan, and free of gluten, dairy, and soy.
Damn. That's a lot of hydration.
So grab your LiquidIV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code TRASHTASTE at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you get better hydration today using promo code TRASHTASTE at liquidiv.com.
Thank you very much, LiquidIV, for sponsoring this episode. Back to the video.
I mean, that's probably from the internet speeds there in Thailand, right? Are they fast in Thailand? Does everyone have access to internet in Thailand?
I mean, internet speeds in Thailand are like faster than what I get in the UK, at least for uploads.
Really?
I mean, like upload speed in the UK sucks, and most people won't.
Yeah, for some reason we've been really cucked on the internet speeds.
Yeah, like download completely fine, but like upload, you get like 20 max, isn't it? Like,
Don't talk to me until you went to Australia. 20
True.
was like
Well, I mean,
20 is like fucking luxury.
it's just weird seeing that like I was paying, $70 a month in London for promised 100 megabytes down and 6 megabytes up.
Right.
I never got more than 3 up, and I never got more than 60 down.
yeah.
Dude, I paid $60 a month for 0.3 up.
Yeah, but you live in a prison, so that's like
Yeah,
doesn't get...
we still have fucking copper wire. It's ridiculous. In like 2020, we have copper wire.
Yeah, like I no joke, because whenever I like lived in the UK, I would be, I remember being a YouTuber, you'd have to pay for like the most expensive internet available. So I'm like, okay, who's the most fastest internet provider? And at the time it was Virgin Media.
Fucking awful.
Yeah, and the best they could provide is like 20 up. And when I say 20 up, it's really like 10 up in like the quieter times in the day. And then I would like
it's like fucking $200.
yeah, exactly, right? And then I remember living in the UK, and before I had more American friends, I'd see like screenshots of people on Twitter being like 100 up, 100 down, and I'm just like, this is obviously photoshopped. There's no way. There's no way.
A fucking lie, and I won't stand
there's
for
no way. There's no way people get this upload speed on any kind of internet.
It's just tragic. In like places like Europe, you can have your neighbor could have like 1 gigabyte upload and down, and just because the wire stops at his house, you and you're his neighbor, you won't have it. You'll have copper. I just couldn't imagine not living in Japan with this god tier internet that never breaks. Nothing ever bad happens.
You say god tier internet. I have shit internet compared to
Bro,
you.
my internet is just like Jesus came down and fucking blessed my router. Like,
Wait, what do you have?
AU.
AU?
Yeah.
What speeds are you getting?
One gig down, like 400 megabytes up.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm getting 70 down, 70 up at most on wire.
Yeah.
Really?
Because for some reason my apartment's like semi-new, but even then they apparently can only do like copper, I think, or like some really outdated system.
Because I'm on Wi-Fi and I get 500 up, 500 down.
What the fuck am I on?
I don't know what they gave you, Garn, but like, I upload like nearly like half a terabyte of files every week,
Right.
and that would actually just be impossible on my old internet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So like right now, it's like, oh, that video I just filmed was 150 gigabytes. Oh, no worries, it'll take 4 hours to upload. No big deal.
Yeah.
You know, it's like whatever. It's crazy. Like this podcast I upload every day after we film it, and it's like 300 gigabytes of video files. And
Right.
uploads overnight while I'm sleeping. And I wake up, my PC's on, it's all done. It's great.
Meanwhile, back in Australia, it's like 800 meg file.
It'll take a year.
Give it 8 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be done by the morning.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's fucking tragic.
But yeah, I mean, I really appreciate that. Back to the whole watching shitty quality stuff. I recently watched Chernobyl, and I wanted to watch it, you know, in high quality because I just
You can actually.
yeah.
Yeah, you can buy it on YouTube. That's how I watched it.
So you watched it?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
Oh, really?
I watched it on Amazon Prime, and I had to pay for every episode individually.
Oh no.
Yeah, I had to do that as well. Actually,
But this is like how done I am with not watching stuff in like high quality that I would rather pay. I think it was like $3 an episode.
Right.
And it offered me, did you want to pay $1.50 for standard definition or $4 for HD? I think you should be shot as a company. Whoever is in charge of the decision deserves to be shot.
Right.
Like, okay, I'm joking. That's terrible. That is a joke, by the way. This is
For
a
legal
joke.
reasons, it is a joke.
This is a joke. Obviously, I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm just exaggerating. Who on earth is willing to spend like $1.50 for standard definition, but not the extra dollar? It is so scummy of these companies to do. Why would you downgrade like this is what I hate. If you have a product and then you downgrade it and sell it on purpose, like no.
What I wonder is like they obviously know no one's going to buy the standard definition because if you're willing to buy standard definition, then you're going to be the type of person who's probably going to find other ways to watch it rather than
makes me so
watch it in standard
irrationally
definition, right?
Angry.
Yeah.
Like I was very much happy to pay the $15 to watch this whole series. It was really good.
Yeah.
But I just hate the fact that want to make me pay for every episode individually, and I like in some weird way. Give me a package deal. Give me something.
Well, I
want-
think it's for the people who are like, oh, I watched 2 episodes. I don't want to watch.
I mean, there should be some kind of package deal for a
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
seasonal
Of course,
TV
of course.
show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I think I rented. No idea why I did this because I don't know why. I just can't be bothered of doing the whole dance of watch something online, spend 2 hours trying to find a link that doesn't give you viruses. Like I don't want to deal with that shit anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's too stressful, and watching movies is already hard enough as is. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this dance anymore. I refuse. I think I watched Borat on YouTube.
You watch
Really?
Borat on YouTube.
I rented Borat on YouTube because for some reason I wanted to watch it again because I don't know
I don't
why.
think I've
Yeah.
ever rented a movie on YouTube.
Don't. It was awful
Really?
because for some reason when I rented it I was like great. It was only in like 480p on YouTube.
Really?
Is that because it's an older movie?
No, I'm pretty sure that Borat is at least in like fucking 720 or
Well, I'd like to think so,
1080.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like why? I'm pretty sure it wasn't in 480. I was like, what is this? What is this? I don't remember looking at this shit.
Did you rent the standard version?
No, there was only one choice, and it was like $3.
Yeah, there's only one choice: standard definition.
And then also, I just found it really interesting that YouTube actually tells you how many views the movie has.
Oh, really?
And it had like 20 on YouTube.
It might not have been legit in that case.
No, it was definitely like legit.
Really?
Yeah, it was legit, and it was just weird because I was like, "This is so strange."
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of films on YouTube here in Japan because I find like if there's a film that's not on Netflix or something or
Yeah.
Amazon here, it's normally on Japanese YouTube. I don't know why. It's like I started
weird.
watching The Wire on YouTube because
Paying for it all?
Huh?
Are you paying for it all like one by one?
no, I'm paying like season by season.
Oh, wow.
But like because I tried to watch The Wire in the UK and it just was not available on like any platform that I was subscribed to. Basically, if it's not on Netflix and it's not on Amazon Prime, I'm probably not going to watch it, right?
Yeah,
But I feel
yeah.
like here in Japan, YouTube's like the golden child. There are so many films here on YouTube and so many TV series that are blocked off when you're in like Western countries. So
True.
yeah, if you're in Japan, use YouTube. There's a lot on YouTube.
I feel like I'm repaying my debts as a teen. You know what I mean? Just paying for all these movies.
Punished
I'm like-
with the standard
I
definition.
sit there as I order my 300 yen Borat SD quality 40p thinking, old Connor would have gone online and found a HD version today. No. Here you go, billion-dollar movie companies. Here's $3.
But alas, I don't have 2 hours to kill to find it. I'm gonna have to deal with this.
I just don't care anymore. I'm just like I don't know. I value my time too much now. I'm so busy now that the thought of spending 10 minutes to trying to find a link. If I get to the 5-minute mark, I'm about to give up. I'm like, no, I'm not watching it.
Yeah,
you've lost it.
But like 10 years ago, it'd be like day 7, still.
Yeah,
finding
I
the
would.
link.
I'd be like, maybe it's my location. Changes VPN to other country to try and get a different Google search. You know what I mean? Like I would do whatever it took. Like I remember I tried to watch the documentary about Pepe. And it was fucking, I couldn't even find a place to buy it. Like it was fucking impossible to try and find this movie to watch it.
Were you in the generation where people were watching things on Megaupload?
Yeah.
Do you remember the dance you had to do with the 72 minutes time limit? So for anyone too young to know, for anyone too young to know, there used to be this site called Megaupload, right? Where people would upload, full TV series and full movies on it. Yeah. Now, most movies, their runtime is normally like at least an hour and a half, right?
Like 100 minutes.
Like 100 minutes. So Megaupload, for a free account, had a time limit of 72 minutes, and for every 72 minutes you watch, you had to wait 72 minutes to watch to watch it again, right?
Such a dick move, yet amazing marketing choice.
Oh my god, it was
such a dick move.
Like, I don't know why. Was it because it was the only site that was available for people to watch?
It was one of the only file sites that was like, welcome, everything. Come on, put anything you want on here.
Yeah, and I remember back in the day because this was when I was still in university. So I think back when Megaupload was popular, I don't think VPNs were as popular, right? Because VPN would be like the easy answer to this nowadays, right? And I remember feeling like I was like so fucking five-head where what I would do is our university had like a private network that we would connect to upload like our files or upload our projects and stuff like that, right? And so what I would do is I would watch the 72 minutes, then I would connect to the university internet and start uploading on there.
It was like the EduRoam.
Huh?
It was the EduRoam.
Something like that, right? And then that worked great until I did something stupid. I started blabbing in my mouth about it. Unfortunately, I lived in a shared house. So this 72 minute limit became like 5 minutes, where everyone in our house started watching Megaupload and you used like the same network and used the same IP address.
Rookie mistake.
And that was. And then I realized it's just much better to live by yourself and just not have to deal with people sharing your internet. Do you remember trying to game online on university internet and how fucking awful that was?
Terrible.
Yeah. So it's a memory I don't want to think about.
I have like flashbacks of just the ping going from 10 to like 500.
Who's uploading porn?
I mean, it wasn't even that bad for me because of Australian internet, our default ping was like 300. So it was more like going from like 300 to like 900.
I gamed with Australian. They were like, yeah, I've got great ping. Oh, what is it? Oh, 300. I'm like, that is not, by no measurement, is that a good ping?
If you have below 250, you're like, damn, this guy's paying for like the premium internet.
I don't know. I feel that university internet was just the most temperamental thing ever.
Yeah.
But it's really cool because I remember that because a lot of them use the EduRoam network. I remember one time I went to Germany and I walked past university and I was like, oh, I connected to the internet. I connected to that university's internet.
Right.
Because they shared the same ID for like Wi-Fi or something like that.
Right.
But if I walk past any university, you get free Wi-Fi when you're a university student.
Wow.
If it was using the same network, which most of them were, I think, in Europe. It's really cool. Fun fact.
Wow.
Life hack.
Yeah.
Life hack. Just, I don't know, do something.
Walk past the university.
Just get free Wi-Fi.
Just get free Wi-Fi.
Stop complaining. It's free.
I actually have a really awkward story about when I set up the Wi-Fi here in Japan. Because obviously, we just moved to Japan, and one of the hardest things, especially when we moved here, was fucking setting everything up initially.
Yeah. Like, Joey knows all too well.
Joey knows all too well. Connor moved here like 2 weeks before me, so Connor had the cheat sheet of just having Joey set up everything for him.
I wanted to get in first with Joey. I was like, Joey, I need help. Gaunt's coming. I know you're going to be sick of Gaunt. Do it.
You like perfectly planned out where I'd be burnt out right as Gaunt was about to ask me.
Because like I could see when you asked Joey like to help you set up, I could see like the hope just wash over his face to be like, oh, this is the last time, Connor. This is the last time. And I remember when you were talking about setting up like your driver's license, and like I could see Joey's just like, no, don't ask me, Connor. No, I'm not going to do it.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, well, 'cause, I mean, that I feel bad. Luckily, there was someone else who I hadn't bothered yet to help me.
So as I was setting up the internet, as you know, I have like really, really slow internet compared to you guys, right? And I
Peasant.
peasant internet. I can't remember who I'm with. It's not AU. It's the other
SoftBank?
It's not,
That doesn't
no,
really
it's
matter.
not. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But they have
Yahoo something, right?
yeah,
Probably.
they have like English support, which is why I picked them, right? Because I had to try and sort this out by myself. So when they said they have English support, it's the most. It's basically just like, here's a person who translates using Google Translate.
Oh, no.
Right?
Japanese companies that are like English support or for foreigners only, 95% of the time, it's just someone who doesn't really speak good English, and it's just a way for them to hike up the price.
Oh yeah,
Like if you go to the like what is it, like Gaijin Pot? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Like that real estate website. If you go and find the same properties on a Japanese website, they're much cheaper. Like, it's just like
it's like 30% cheaper at
and
least.
it's just like it's like, okay, it's been taken advantage of because you know.
They do that.
Just ask someone who's Japanese to help you. You'll save a shit ton of money. you might lose a friend, but at least you'll have saved a
Just
few
make
hundred
a
bucks.
Japanese friend to eventually lose said Japanese friend.
Pay him the money that you saved.
Honestly, there should be a service for someone to help you, because that could save you a lot
Someone
of money.
start a service. Hire a Japanese who speaks English to come with you to stuff.
Basically.
I'd pay. I would.
That's my first milli right there.
Like the reason I was able to set up my phone was because luckily my cousin was here at the time, and I asked her to do it, and she works for JAL, so she can speak, you know, pretty fluent Japanese, and she helped me set it up. Perfect. No bumpy roads. Setting up the internet was a fucking
walk through it.
nightmare.
I got
Okay.
mine on my phone, so I'll tell mine after yours. Go.
Okay, because like firstly, you have to set it up with the internet provider, and then also set it up with something else as well.
I didn't have to do that for mine.
You didn't have to do that, because I get billed from two companies, and I don't exactly understand why.
That sounds like a scam.
No. It wasn't a scam. I made sure it wasn't a scam.
How would you know?
because I
Because it's English support.
because
the Google Translate assured me it wasn't a scam.
No scam.
Microsoft Tech Support, they were very nice. They assured me that my Windows
it was an
PC
Indian guy on the phone. They assured me. Had to set up my IP address and
I paid
everything.
through Google Play cards. You know, it's totally legit. It's
No, but from what I understand, you have to set up with like the person who provides the ISP, and then
I did not have to do
and
that.
then the guy, I think AU provides both services, whereas my company did not provide both services at once.
Yeah, I think yours is like Yahoo Mobile or something, right? Where it's like
Yahoo Mobile.
It's probably like a version of like Yahoo or something like that. Because I remember I had that, and I had to do something similar.
Yeah, because the person that provides the line and the person that like installs the router and rents out the router and stuff for you is like two separate
Rents
companies.
out the route. They're like fucking $40.
Yeah, I know. I know.
yeah,
No. But the thing is, you can rent one out and have them set up for you, or you can set it up yourself. And so I chose with the internet option I had, I didn't even have that option, because I would have loved just to rent out a router and have the engineer set it up. No, I wasted a day trying to figure out how to set up my fucking router and, you know, connect it to the ISP in Japanese menus and everything. It was a fucking hell. But like before that, I had to even just set up the deal that I was getting, right? And so I phone up and I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm living here. I choose the English option, and even then, it's like
It's rough.
It's a fucking rough kind of like it took me, I think, an hour phone call to communicate 10 minutes worth of stuff, and just to make sure that everything was correct. And I tell them all my details, and so we're going through it, and then they tell me that we're sorry, this is the fastest internet you can get at this house, or at this apartment. And I'm just like, that's like your lowest option that you have on your website, because they have like different tiers,
As
right? They
always,
have like the high paying option, and they have like the fucking peasant option at
as
the
they
bottom,
always- as they
they
always-
always
as
do.
they always
And
do.
they're like, we're sorry, you can only get the peasant option.
Why?
And I was like asking why, right? And they told me that sorry, your building is not new enough, and it doesn't have the newest internet installed.
Yeah, that's
right?
the problem with Japanese internet, is that like depending on the building and the wires built into it,
Yeah.
they're just like, we can't do it. Sorry.
Yeah. So
It's ridiculous.
So I was like, "There's no way that this is true," because my apartment's pretty modern. It's I think it was built
It's
newer.
newer than mine.
Yes,
Much
it's
newer than
it's
mine.
newer than your one. And I heard about the speeds you were getting, so I was like,
No problem.
I was like, doubt.
Fuck on it.
I was like,
Where's this phantom speed coming from?
yeah. I was like, doubt.
I'm
okay?
actually stealing the next door building. You know?
Yeah. So I'm just like, let me consider this deal, right? So I hang up. I phone up the next day, and so I could talk to someone different, right? So I can just make sure that
It wasn't just that person.
That it wasn't
Yeah.
just that person that I was miscommunicating to, right? So I phone up. I go through the same fucking hour phone call, doing it again, explaining, yes,
Torture.
I just want to make sure that this is the best option I can go for. This is the best option, and there isn't a higher option. And the second person I was talking to goes, hold on a second, let me just talk to my manager. And so she gets her manager, and her manager comes on. It's the same fucking guy I talked to yesterday. And so I was just like, yeah, can I just make sure that this is the highest option available? And he goes, you're the guy that phoned yesterday, aren't you? And I was like, yeah, this is awkward. Can I just
Yikes.
double make sure? And he was like, yeah, I mean, I just made sure again. It's the best option available. And
This motherfucker.
I wonder if you tried a different internet company.
yeah, I wanted to. And so I go through the ordeal again, and I give them all my details again. And this time I actually have to send my ID or scan my ID just to make sure everything's all kosher. Shit, you not. First bill I get, right? I open it up. Grant Manitapo. I send them my ID so that they can verify my name and address, and they fucking autocorrect my name again.
Like, nah. His name on the ID must have been wrong. Must be wrong. Well, fucking idiots in the UK.
I think the visa people just spelled wrong.
Fuck the visa people. Fuck the government. Fuck the government.
What the fuck's a god?
So,
not a
so
name.
what, you just bought the shitty internet and it's shit?
Yeah, I mean, I like.
So I bought the shit internet. Turns out it was shit.
So yeah, I mean, I couldn't be bothered to fucking go through another 2-hour phone call with another company, and I just settled for it. And
I mean, trust me, even if you were perfect in Japanese, it probably would have taken just as long. Because my god.
Well, yeah, because when Jerry helped me try to get my internet and SIM card, and originally I got internet and a SIM card with the same company.
yeah,
Turned out the SIM card just didn't work on my phone.
yeah,
And because they were like, oh, we don't sell this model of phone in Japan. So in Europe, I don't know if it's the same as the US, but you can basically just buy SIM cards anywhere and they'll work with every phone.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what it is, you just put it in, it works.
yeah.
But yeah, apparently that's not the case in Japan, because of course it isn't. Found out that Japan is the only country on earth that uses a very specific type of bandwidth or whatever it is that the phone lines use. So a lot of phones don't work in Japan because Japan was like, no, we're going to be different. And it's like, of course you are, Japan.
Of course you are.
Everything's got to be different, doesn't it? And that's why getting a phone here is just fucking hell. And,
Yeah.
and that's why SIM cards are so expensive. I think recently they did something about they're going to change it because I think the government is it's getting out of hand. Like the prices of phone
Yeah.
carriers here are ridiculous.
I mean, I'm paying more for my phone than I am my internet.
yeah,
which is
me too.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm paying $90 a month for my fucking phone,
Yeah.
and that doesn't include the phone. That's
Yeah.
I bought the phone myself.
I think I'm paying $70 a month, and I get
It's
4 gigs
insane.
of data.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this shit? This shit is stupid. This is way too much for shit. It's good, but I mean, it's good service, but
It's good,
but it's shit.
Yeah.
But it's shit that they're charging me this much.
Yeah.
I paid $15 in the UK for what I was £10 for what I was getting.
Yeah, I think I paid £20 a month in the UK
That's expensive.
for unlimited data.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yes, and when in the UK when they say unlimited data, they actually mean unlimited data. I've never been throttled
Yeah.
in my data in the UK at
Yeah.
all.
The speeds are fantastic here. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong, but
Speeds are great.
Not to the point where we're talking $100 a month speed. Come on.
Yeah.
It's more than my internet bill. You're having a bit. Come on.
Yeah,
Bit of a
exactly.
joke.
Exactly.
I mean, it works really well, but and that's why a lot of people I know don't even bother getting SIM cards because you have to sit there for 4 hours talking to them, answering dumb questions, and they try and sell you a ton of stuff. Because I think Aki doesn't even use a.
No, she still has an American thing and just pays for pocket
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. Because she's like, she looked at all of her friends getting the SIM cards and whatnot. It's just like, I'm not going through that shit. Fuck that.
It's hell, but I just don't want to have to charge a fucking portable Wi-Fi thing all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And having a Japanese number does help sometimes with things. Like a lot of forms require you to have Japanese numbers for some reason.
Yeah, she just uses my number
Yeah,
for
I
that.
mean,
So
wow, isn't that convenient?
Yeah.
Where's my Japanese fucking fluent boyfriend who translates and does everything for me, huh?
Yeah, no, so if I were her, I would totally do the same thing, to be honest, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, like the only reason I wanted a phone was because I didn't want to carry an extra thing with my phone just to get Wi-Fi.
Same.
Right.
I
And
forget
you're not
things all
carrying
the
like a
time.
purse with you all the time.
Yeah,
right? Like,
exactly.
So it's just annoying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know several people who just have pocket Wi-Fi here, just because they don't want to go through the trouble of switching their phones or.
Well, I
getting
mean,
a
Raina
Japanese SIM
still
card.
has pocket Wi-Fi, and she's been living here for like however many
It's
years.
insane. Do we even have pocket Wi-Fi? Isn't popular in like Europe, I don't think, and the US. It's like not mainstream.
I never really heard of it until I moved
It
here.
exists, but like it's not like
not common.
nearly common as it is here, because clearly they've made a market where the cell phone carriers are so fucking awful that there's a whole industry about avoiding them.
Yeah.
Look, it's ridiculous, and the price
Yeah.
of these pocket Wi-Fi's are much cheaper than the cell phone.
Much
Wi-Fi.
cheaper, yeah.
It's just stupid.
Yeah, like I legitimately dread whenever I have to sort out like the smallest thing within like my living situation here in Japan, because
God.
like they I don't know how they somehow always turn like a 5 to 15 minute meeting to like a fucking hour long. An hour long ordeal.
I'm waiting for the day where, you know how sometimes when you're on a website you have to change your email? They'll be like, please come in person to change your email. And it'll take like 4 hours. And it's like, I could have done this online.
Okay, fucking
Japanese banks, man.
I'm about to go fucking mad. Like, okay, so
Oh God, he broke the table. He's so mad.
Christ.
I have so much salt towards
Foreigners
Japanese.
complain about Japan, volume 10.
Honestly, Japanese banks.
Do you want to
right?
preface before we get into this? We do love living in Japan. Japan is a very kind country.
We do.
Very great. But we are British and we complain about
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
I complain about everything in the UK,
I'm
America.
an innocent bystander in this case.
Oh, bullshit. Like you don't complain about the banks.
We complain about everywhere we live.
Yeah.
And especially if something like is inefficient to a Brit, we will happily wait in line, but if that meeting takes any seconds longer than it needs to, we are going to complain the shit about
of
that.
course.
So Japanese banks, we have to fucking, since our visa only lasts 6 months, we have to go to the bank every time to tell them not to cancel our card. Right? And the thing about Japanese banks is that you can do fucking nothing on the phone, right?
Yeah.
So just so they don't cancel our card every time our visa runs out, every time we renew our visa, we have to go there in person, and not just any branch of our bank. We have to go to
The branch that you started
we have to go to that specific branch, which if you don't live anywhere near the branch you open your bank account, you're pretty much fucked.
Yeah.
And they didn't give me a warning. They didn't tell you when.
they-
so you could be like stranded in the middle of fucking nowhere in Japan
But-
and not be able to get any money out.
Yeah.
Because they've cancelled your card and not told you.
Yeah. And another thing is I needed to go there for like, I needed a bank statement, right? You think for a bank statement, that's a pretty normal.
Just go on the app. Go online.
That's a
Download it.
pretty normal document you can obtain
Yeah.
from a bank,
Yeah.
correct? So I go to the bank and I ask for a bank statement, and they have like fucking 70 million different kinds of bank statements, and I'm just like, how hard is it?
Tell me, money go in, money go out.
What is-
print money go in, money go out.
What is the document where you can see money go in, money go out, transactions, you spent money here? I just need that document. And they're like, okay, maybe we can do that.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Let's see. They go away.
I think I'll talk to the manager about
Yeah,
that.
no. Literally, they go away. They talk to the manager. They give me like 2 forms to fill out and go. So are you okay getting this in 3 weeks? I'm like,
What?
is there any faster way to get this document? And like, no, if you want this document, because you didn't sign up for it before, you have to wait 3 weeks and we'll send it to you. Now, do you want this document monthly, or do you want us to like just hold it? And then I'm like, no, from now on, give me this monthly, because there is no other way to obtain a statement unless you just go to the bank and ask for it. And you have to ask for this option when you sign up for a bank account, or when you realize that you need a bank statement for whatever,
What is the point of like the 900 printers that they have back there?
know.
Like, what are you using these printers credits for?
And so
Paper
I've-
airplanes. Yeah.
and so I'm waiting for this document for because I needed to file some stuff. I needed a bank statement. Took 5 weeks for it to get sent. I didn't realize when they said 3 weeks, they meant three
weeks minimum.
No, 3 weeks minimum.
Working.
Yeah, basically, Japanese banks. I don't know if we've just been really blessed with UK banks. But,
Our banks are really good in the UK.
yeah,
Like, the apps work amazingly.
The apps work amazingly. You can just transfer money on an app. It's pretty secure, and I can have my statements if I have like 5 years worth of like bank statements that I can
Download
have.
them in PDF. Do whatever
Yeah.
I want with
No,
them.
Japan has those as well. Like, I use a bank currently that has a great fucking app, and I can do transactions all on my phone. The problem is they're not the major banks. All of the major banks are like, you have to go in person, bring your fucking stamp, and sign like 17 pieces of paper, and we'll send you something in 2 years.
Yeah, because I've wanted to transfer money back to my UK account for like since I moved here. I just don't. I'm just dreading the ordeal I have to go through just so I can move money from one place to another.
It's like a whole day event.
It
to do
is.
that.
It fucking.
When it should be 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
Like every time I go to the bank, I lose at least an hour or two
Yeah.
of my life.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that like things that should take 10 minutes or 15 minutes tops are always like 4 hours in Japan. I think that's where the frustration comes from, where it's like you've put middlemen and checks in places where there didn't need to be any, you know, and
It's like, why do you have to ask your manager if this dude needs a bank statement?
Everything. Anything you do, they will always ask the manager. It's like, do any of your employees have the ability to do anything on their own?
Are your employees like trained at all? Like, just make a fucking decision for yourself.
Yeah. Oh God,
Jesus,
it's so
what are you employed
frustrating.
for?
Yeah, I mean, like by the time I got the statement was like already out of
date.
date
Oh
because it was a month-old statement, right? So I had to I like fucking begged because I was filling out tax stuff and I was fucking begging my accountant to be like, please let this be like. Please let this be usable because I don't want to fucking do this again. I don't want to go through this ordeal again.
I don't want to wait 5 weeks again.
I think the most frustrating part about it is that when you're like, please help me with this thing, they make you seem like you're the weird one for like wanting to like make stuff go quicker or do things simpler. They're always like, why would you want to do that?
Yeah.
This is the way we do it. And
Yeah,
it's like,
this is the way that where it's 100% success rate. So it's like, why else would you make it any other way?
well, I remember because I think Dogen did a video about the Japanese banks as well. And he mentioned something else one time where he was like, sometimes you just have to tell them like no, like that.
Yeah.
Just tell them no. That's not
Yeah.
going to work. And then maybe be like, you have to do this or help me do this. And the manager might be like, okay. But it's sad, isn't it, that sometimes you have to put your foot down
Yeah.
to get anything done here.
Yeah.
It's just terrible. It's just so sad.
Is that you have to like pull tooth and nail to get the best service that they offer, right?
Yeah, which is why I hate, sometimes I feel bad when I ask Japanese people to help me with it. Because if I'm like, can you ask them to do this? Like, no, they don't do that here. It's like, no, but if you have a foreigner friend, they'll at least ask. They'll be like, hey, can we do this? But if I'm asking a Japanese friend to help me, like who's 100% Japanese, right, is fluent in English somewhat, I'll ask them, hey, can you ask them this? They'll just be, they won't even ask because they'll be like, no, you can't ask them that.
Yeah.
I'll be like, no, just ask. Like try, you know? Like, you know, like but
That's such a Japanese way of thinking,
Yeah.
though, right? Because they don't want to like embarrass themselves.
they don't
right?
want to ask questions that they feel they already know the answer to because they feel like that's like humiliating at times. Whereas I think I always am of the mindset of there's no harm in asking.
Yeah.
Right,
I mean, like, I never thought I would go to a place where it's like a 50-50 on whether you'd be able to get a fucking credit or debit card. Right?
Well, I got rejected for all my cards in the start. And then
exactly.
I had
Right?
to apply two or three times until I finally got a debit card.
Really? Fucking hell.
Yeah.
And it was like the worst one.
So in Japan, right? Whenever you sign up to a bank account, in most countries that I know, you get a fucking debit
Oh
card.
yeah, you do. This
Yeah.
is so
Yeah.
So in most other countries, you get a debit card in which you can spend your money, which you put in your bank. In Japan, they're like, we do not do that here.
we don't want you spending your money.
We'll give you a bank card.
They will give you a cash card.
Yeah, a cash card, yeah, that's
In
it.
which you can take out money at the ATM. and also charge you a fee for taking money out of the ATM. So when you go to the ATM and get money out, you better be taking a large amount of money out, otherwise you'll just be like fucked for fees.
And by the way, you can't pay with anything with the cash card. This cash card can only be used to take out cash from ATMs.
Yes.
You also can't take out any money with your debit card. Debit card can only be used to pay with things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of which, if you apply for a debit card, you have the possibility of being rejected.
Yeah.
I like, why? Like credit card, maybe.
I understand credit card because
Yeah.
it's like, you're using their money. You know, if-
I get. But like, for like most countries I know, like fucking America, they give out credit cards like they give out free candy. You know,
yeah,
like
yeah. Same in the
like,
UK.
Same in the UK. You're like,
Because they want you to get in debt so they can make your life hell and take you for all the money.
it's like do you have a pulse? Brilliant. Here's a 2,000. Here's a 2,000 pound.
You joke, but that's how it is.
That's how it is. Like,
Because all the credit card companies make all their money off the people who are failing to pay back the
Yeah,
credit
yeah,
cards.
yeah,
Like that's where they make all their money from.
yeah, in Japan, it's just like, oh, you want to pay for stuff not using cash? I don't know about that one, chief.
It's like, if I'm paying for like my rent or something, or I don't want to pay in cash. Why you make me pay in cash? This is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
$1,000. Don't make me carry $1,000 around. I don't want to do that.
After
Yeah.
paying the ATM fee.
Yeah. So like I tried to buy a new camera and my debit card had a limit on it. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. How do I change the limit? Gotta fucking call them up, haven't I? Oh, for fuck's
of course
sake.
you
Yeah.
do.
There's not an app or anything I gotta call them up, explain to
Yeah.
them, and they're like, why would you want to increase the limit? None of your fucking business why I want to increase. It's my money. I want to use it. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's like now that I've lived here for like 1.5 years, I've realized that it would be more convenient for me to use my foreign card here than it would have been to like set everything up. Because like the fees that they charge you whenever you take money out is exactly the same. Like it's about the same fees that you use when
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
The only real difference I feel is like the exchange rate. You know, that obviously goes
You
up
get
and
fucked
down.
up by the exchange rates. That's
Yeah.
why I always. That's why I wanted the debit card because I was like losing a lot of money because I was having to use my British card and I was just losing money on exchange rates.
Because the pound's so
fees.
strong compared to the yen.
Well, yeah, as well. Like right now, I want to use as much yen as possible because the rest of my money's in pounds and it's really strong, and I don't want to use that. I want to get rid of the weak money that I have. Right? I'm like,
Yeah.
spend it all, spend it. Like,
But like in that case, it would be like it's way more convenient to use like a third party company like Revolut or like TransferWire to like get it, because you can actually get like a physical card where you put money into this account.
well, yeah, I used to have one. I used to have
exactly.
a card, but when the UK left the EU, I lost that card and
Yeah.
they stopped banking.
Oh, shit.
For the UK. So the one good card I had that was perfect for transferring for using foreign exchange was just useless after a while.
Yeah.
Big sad.
Look at us talking like adults about credit cards and banks and
Well,
whatnot.
it's just sad because they've made a system that makes it hell at every turn, and you need to answer for like little things that you just like comfort or little things. You have to explain why you want them, and it's like that. I shouldn't have to explain to you why I want to up the limit on my card. Like that should be a me. Why do I have to tell you? Like, I'm getting interrogated because I want to buy a fucking camera. Like, what is this? I don't like this. Not that I don't mind telling them. I'm like, yeah, it's for a camera. But the fact that I have to answer to you, like what? Like if it's for like a couch that you don't like, you'll say no, fuck you.
It's like, that's an ugly ass couch. Fuck that.
Yo, send me the link. Let me check this out. Yo, really, the thread count on those sheets suck, bro. I'm not up in the car. Like,
that 1,000 thread
count? Why are you asking me this? Is there a situation where you like I'm going to launder more money? You're like, what? Well, then of course you're going to say no because I'm doing something illegal. Why is this ever going to work? Like, what is this point of this question? Don't ask me this shit. You make a conversation. If so, fucking stop.
Meanwhile, like UK banks, like I just got the text the other day being like, we've upped the limit on your credit card, and I'm just like, well, I didn't ask, but I guess.
Cheers.
Cheers.
But UK banks are always really good. They update me all the time. You know, the app's fantastic. I can transfer money to anyone. No questions asked.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, like fucking bank apps are like, I think only maybe like a thing that was invented 2 or 3 years ago here. When I first moved here, like none of the banks had an app.
Did you have online banking when you moved here?
No.
The
Literally, I still don't have it here because it's fucking horrible.
I don't know how to transfer money online in Japan. I still haven't figured it out. I don't
I
know
mean,
how.
some banks don't even let you do it.
I don't even know if it's possible.
Yeah.
All I know is that somehow when I buy
Have you been
things-
able to log into your online banking?
I've logged in. So the online banking that I have to send money is like, I have logged into my bank, but if I want to send money, it's through like it's through my card. It's really weird. Again, this whole shit, it's been separated. I don't understand what's going on. It doesn't make any sense. Japanese banks suck. Please, this is why. If you're a tourist, you got it lucky, man. You have to deal with this stuff. This is why everyone says Japan is the best place to visit, not worst place to live, but
No, it's an amazing place.
it's an amazing place to live.
There's just a lot of things that I took for granted that I thought were just little conveniences, or just the way the world works in first world countries. I guess
You get mega angry, and then you go outside, you go to Matsuya, and you get your Matsuya, and you're like, nice. All right, it's all
Lots of
it's
little
all worth it.
distractions.
It's all worth it.
Actually, no.
But for that one day where you're dealing with this stuff, you're like, I'm finna book a flight home. I'm getting real tired
Actually,
of this.
no, because it's not just Japan. Because I've lived in Thailand as well, and even they've got their banking system more convenient than they do in. I have an app that's I can transfer my money in my Thai bank account to my Japanese bank account if I wanted to. I can't do that in Japan, and Japan's a first world country. Thailand's like a second world country.
When I left the UK, closing everything and getting everything all sorted, moving everything I need to do, I did everything in like half a day. Just making phone calls, just being like, hey, can I do this? I'm leaving. And they're like, oh yeah, totally fine. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, can I do blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's all good. Every phone call lasted like at most, the being on hold took longer than the phone call.
Yeah.
It was like, it's so easy. Like it's so frustrating.
Whereas here it's like, oh, you're moving?
Oh, you're moving? That's a whole month process.
Yeah.
That's not because you got to unpack and move stuff around. That's because you got to go to
You got to call up and go to
Yeah.
fucking in-store everywhere. It's ridiculous.
So absurd. So again, we complain a lot about these aspects of Japan, but we are very grateful to Japan for allowing us to be here.
I mean, there's a reason why you guys still here.
Yeah, we love it. I mean,
We're probably going to stay here.
I'm going to be living in Japan for a long time.
Yeah.
I just, I think that when you live in a place, you have the right to complain about certain things.
Oh, absolutely.
And I complain about everywhere equally. Everywhere sucks. Everywhere sucks.
Exactly. There's no utopian country.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I don't want people to get the idea that we're not fucking grateful or we're not like.
Yeah, because
happy
we
with
get
Japan,
some comments like that.
Yeah,
sometimes.
we do get comments like that sometimes, and we are very happy here in Japan.
We're just being real with you guys.
We just like to complain about the little things.
Yeah.
And
You guys like it when we're annoyed about shit. That's why we're annoyed about shit.
If you guys are going to move to Japan, I want to be honest with you and tell you what's going to be fun and what's going to suck.
Yeah, there's gonna be lots of fucking great things about it, but just be prepared for those little inconveniences.
Whenever you have to do anything to do with like Japanese bureaucracy or just setting up your living situation, I
You will
empathize
be
with
writing your name, address, and phone number more times than you'll ever think.
You will lose at least a week just trying to figure out.
I think that's the thing that annoys me. In the UK, when I had to deal with this stuff, it was maybe an hour out of my day at most, and I get on with my day. If it happens here, it derails your whole week.
Yeah.
Like it takes it completely. You have to reschedule everything, cancel everything you're doing because you got a call from the bank and they said that your card's cancelled, and they didn't tell you until now. It's cancelled.
I just remembered, like, I don't know if you guys have it in the UK, but like in Japanese and Australian airports, there's like sometimes that service where like, you know how on your suitcase you can put like a belt around it so that it doesn't burst open. Some people forget that or don't buy that.
I've
So
never
instead
had
you
to
can
use
like
that.
you can use a service that you can like wrap up your bag and like
I see that in the
plastic
UK.
it, right?
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
In Australia, it's like 10 seconds. You just like wrap this up. Here's the money. They do it. All right, see you later. I did it in Haneda once in Japan, and they were like, "Okay, can you fill out this form? Write your
my
name,
God.
address, and phone number." I'm like, "I'm never gonna see you again. Just wrap up my goddamn bag."
Get the fucking cling film out, wrap it around, and I'll give you $20.
I dead ass. I looked at this woman. I was like, "What do you need this for? Like, why do you need to know my name, phone number, and address?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, like just in case." I'm like, "In case you're wrapping my bag in plastic."
I'm a customer. I will do it myself. Give me the cling film.
Give me the cling wrap. I'll fucking do
I
it
will do
myself.
it right now. I will pay you to not fill in that form.
It was ridiculous.
It's frustrating, man.
And I just wasted 2 minutes of my life filling out this form that, for one, I don't even know what they're going to use it for. But second of all, completely
But it's
unnecessary.
just frustrating giving out your whole fucking information to shit that you feel like it just totally doesn't need it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't want to deal with that. I hate doing that.
But it's also I feel as well there's so many situations where you're canceling something or, you're upgrading something, right? And you're just like, all right, can you write your phone number and address? I'm like, I'm pretty sure all my information is
on
on
here,
system. Just look it up. I'll give you my fucking name.
if it
Just
changes,
look it up.
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I'll keep you
Like,
updated.
how often do you think I'm changing my name and address?
Like one thing I'm fucking dreading when we move, because we're all planning to move from where we are now. I mean, you're already in the process of moving.
Yeah.
is just the process of changing my address in every
Everything.
bill that I've had. And I wake up in a cold sweat at night sometimes being like, I got to do that.
I've been
gotta do that.
suffering for the past month on that. And it shouldn't be a suffering
It
thing.
just sucks because I feel like life just comes to a halt for a month because they've designed systems that make it so.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And it's got nothing to do with, like, you know, people who don't understand the language having a hard time. No. Even if you're fully Japanese, it's still hard as shit to do. And it shouldn't be that hard to do.
like you get pretty good customer service in most aspects of Japanese like life, I think. But this, for some reason, with personal information companies, I feel like it comes to a halt and it doesn't improve at all. Like the customer service isn't any better for it. And I think that's why I think Japan has one of the lowest productivities out of
Well, yeah.
first world countries.
I'm not surprised.
Because they work the most.
We
but-
would have flying
yeah.
cars by now.
they work more hours than any other country and have less to show for it.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you know, I think in some European countries they're considering a 4-day work week even. And you know, which is like
that's
fantastic.
You bring that up to government officials in Japan, they're like, how does the country run? How is that not a how is it not a third world country? How is their economy not crumbling to the ground?
Because again, it's just like, how do you fix it when everything in society has been made to be long-winded, bloated, and slow? Like, what do you do? Like, how do you fix that? Because it's like a whole cultural thing at that
Like, this is a
point,
country
right?
where a lot of schools are still 6 days a week.
Yeah.
You know? It's ridiculous. Let alone
it's-
4-day work week. What?
Yeah, I mean, it took like a fucking global pandemic, right, for the country to embrace working from home and online meetings, right?
They were throwing out like the buzzword of like home workstation or whatever the fuck it was. Like it was a new thing that was just invented. It's
Yeah.
like we've come up with this revolutionary thing. Get this, you can work from home. And Japanese people are like, impossible. That is telework. That's it. Yeah, they call it telework.
Like, also, I think they're now slowly starting to phase out the Hanko because of it. They're finally putting in, like, the government, they're bringing it up and
Have
trying
we ever
to...
explained
yeah.
Hankos? I don't think we have. Have we?
Hanko basically is like it's like a stamp essentially that has your surname on it or, you know, company name or whatever. Basically, it's the Japanese equivalent of a signature.
Yeah.
But incredibly tedious.
It's incredibly tedious because that means you have to carry your Hanko everywhere.
Yeah.
Whenever you're like, if you forget your Hanko,
Yeah.
if you
I've had
forget,
moments where I'm like, I have everything except the Hanko and they just don't accept it.
yeah.
And I'm just like, this is a stamp I bought at Don Quixote for like
'cause-
200 yen.
Yeah,
Don Quixote is like the dollar shop here.
Yeah.
Right? You can just get it at a dollar
Like,
shop.
imagine your name is Connor, right? And then, you know, you go to those gift shops and they have like the license plates like Connor.
Yeah.
It's like that. Like, imagine you just go to the store, you find your name on the license plate and then you bring it and go, look, it's my name.
And
It's my
but
name. Look,
the-
take a picture.
The thing is like I read up a thing as to why Japan still uses the Hanko and not signatures, and the most accepted like excuse, I guess I'm just gonna call it an excuse,
Let 'em know, Joe. Let 'em know.
as why they don't use signatures. They were like, well, anyone can copy a signature. Anyone can go to Don Quixote and buy a $2 stamp.
Yeah,
What are you on?
it's so dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a popular name,
Yeah.
like
yeah, what happens if you have a popular
Yeah.
name, right?
like, what is it? What's the one that you always see? Tanaka? Is that the one?
Yeah,
that you always see?
Tanaka or like Sato, like any of like
See
the
them
common
fucking
ones.
everywhere.
Everyone probably every Sato probably has the same fucking Don Quixote stamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this bullshit. Like, it's signature is way harder to copy than buying a stamp. For
And
two-
then-
Like,
and
did
then
you hear
I-
about the fucking Josh Battle Royale that happened
Yeah,
recently?
yeah.
Did you hear about this?
no.
I go to your next one.
So, like, I think like a year ago, some guy in like some state or something, he looked up his name was Josh.
Josh Swain.
Josh Wayne?
Josh
Swain.
Wayne.
Josh Swain. He looked up like every Josh on Facebook in his area and added them to a group, right? And he just sends a message, guys, you know why we're here.
We're gonna battle for the name Josh Swain.
There are only Joshes here. We are going to have a battle royale, and whoever emerges victorious can keep the name Josh.
So that's how it works with Hankos.
There's literally a
So I feel like they have to do that with Hankos, right?
there's literally a fucking battle royale movie in Japan where it's that exact same concept.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's called Diado Onigoko, Real Tag, where basically it's like a survival horror movie. It's actually a really good movie and book, but basically it's set in like the future where the king of Japan, his name is Sato, which is the most common surname in Japan, and he's like, I want to be the only Sato. So what he does is every night at midnight, he's like, all of the subtitles in the country have
Apex
to come out.
Legend game.
Yeah, literally. And they're like, to all subtitles of Japan, there are too many of you, so we're gonna get rid of some of you. And it's like literally a survival horror movie where all the subtitles are like running for their life not to get fucking eliminated.
Sounds epic. I wanna
It's a
watch
great fucking movie, yeah.
this. Sounds like an anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. It's a great movie, but it's literally like that.
I'm just trying to think, is there anything in like UK or Australia that is like unnecessarily like slow? I feel like we just kind of get rid of
Internet.
it. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I mean we've already complained about that.
yeah. I feel like as in like the systems that we have, I don't really think there's anything that's like everything's been like easy to do. Like,
I mean, I didn't really have experience living on my own in
Right.
Australia, so I can't really say
in the
much.
UK, everything that could be done online is done online. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah, most.
I don't even think I ever went anywhere in person for anything like a government. Like it could all be done by phone or online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water bill, internet, phone, government documents like local tax, like all of it was done online.
I think the
never-
only thing really is like, going to get like your driver's license fixed or something, right? Like you probably have to go in person for
even
that.
then in the UK you can get it mailed to you.
Yeah,
really?
yeah. I like when I renewed my driver's license, I
just send them
literally just sent them the license in the mail, uploaded a scan of my picture, and then they just renewed it for me.
Okay, you can't do that in Australia.
Yeah. I mean, we've really been like the UK's gotten really good at making things that
It's efficient,
like,
and I guess I just took that for granted, right?
You sure did, Gon. You sure
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
You're like, everywhere's like this.
Like
right?
I thank God that we're signed with Geeks Plus and they handle our tax.
Yeah.
Because like
Oh God, I can only imagine doing. I've heard horror stories.
I mean, I did my tax before joining Geeks Plus, and it was the fucking worst.
I
If you are a freelancer in Japan, good luck
I've
getting
heard.
tax.
I've
I
heard
mean,
that
doing-
freelance tax forms in Japan.
Oh,
are
it
like
is
the
god
worst
awful.
thing known to
I mean,
man.
doing tax in the UK is bad enough, and I'm just like, if that was bad, how is it in fucking Japan?
Oh, it's god awful. I hated it. I regret it.
You know, I thought it was bad in the UK, but now I look back at how doing taxes was in the UK. I'm like, everything can be done online.
Yeah,
from
everything
home.
can be done online at home.
Pretty good. There's an app, you know, like
In Japan, you have to take a fucking bag full of receipts to like the town ward and like
No.
go through all of it and like fill it in yourself. Oh my! It is the worst. That's why there's no freelancers in Japan, because they're like, fuck that. I don't want to deal with that shit.
That's so
I'll join
sad.
a company.
That's so
It's
sad.
the worst.
I will say though that it was pretty cool the first time I discovered the Hanko, and
It's
as-
cool for 10 seconds until it becomes a burden.
Yeah, it's cool for like the first week you're living here when like, ooh, I'm
Oh, I'm part of
stamping
Japan now. I'm part of the culture here, guys. You know,
Let me put my signature.
Look at my clan. It's the Manitapo clan. Because that's what it feels like, right? When you're fucking stamping your second name down, you're like,
And
bro,
they make
this
it
is
like
legit.
a really like traditional, like kind of swirly, like
Yeah.
feudal Japan style
It's-
stamp.
it
It
looks-
looks dope.
It looks dope. I can see why they haven't like gotten rid of it, because it feels like I feel cultured as I'm stamping my fucking name down. You know when you see like in old films where they're writing a letter and then
Yeah.
they fucking stamp down the,
The
wax.
wax? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it feels like every time I stamp down my Hanko here.
Oh my God.
But then it gets to a point where you live here for a year and you're just like, fuck's sake, can we not just go back to signature?
Just give me a pen.
Then you stamp it, and they're like, "No, it's not good enough. You haven't stamped it enough." And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"What do you mean? I can read it."
It's like,
I can
oh,
look
it's
at it."
slightly crooked. Can you fill it in again, please?
Oh yeah, if it's slightly crooked,
don't accept it.
and if there's slightly not enough ink on it, they just won't accept it.
Yeah. Also, I remember I filled out like this 3-page document, and I made one mistake, and I did the line through it, and the guy at the driving license place like, "You got to redo it all." I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
why? He's like, "You made a mistake. You got to redo it all." I'm
Yeah,
like,
you can't cross things out here.
I'm like, I crossed it out there. It's not.
100% accuracy only in Japan.
I'm like, what do you mean? You can clearly.
there is no
you
any
can-
percent in
I'm like,
Japan. Only
no-
100%
yeah,
right.
Yeah, I'm like, you can clearly make out there is absolutely no problem here. You know that I don't mean the thing that I crossed out,
Yeah.
and you know the thing what I meant to put.
Yeah.
Why are you going to make me fill out this 3-page document again because I made one mistake? It's like everything is a fucking like trapeze act where if you fuck up, you got to redo your whole life.
Yeah, just
Born, do life again, reset life.
Jesus.
Yeah, only perfection here.
I'm surprised that they, when you fill out a document wrong, they're like, nope, no license for you. Come back next day. Gotta redo it again. No.
Basically, if you want to live in Japan, I hope you like filling out forms because you are
Correctly.
Yeah.
correctly because you are
No mistakes.
Expect perfection in
It's-
every way.
It's like moving here is kind of like Form Simulator 2021. Honestly,
It's like Papers, Please, but every day. It's exhausting, man.
yeah, that's kind of why I'm dreading these next few months when we move studios and move houses.
I'm gonna be in a foul mood in like October when I have to move. I'm just gonna not want to talk to anyone. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're complaining now about this, when we actually start moving, my God, our podcast
It's because I know
so much more depressing.
It's because I know I'm going to lose at least a week just from this alone. So
100%.
sorry if you don't get any videos for like that month.
Yeah,
Don't give it videos.
my fucking video schedule's like the slowest it's ever been.
Because of this shit.
Because of this shit. It shouldn't be like that. It's ridiculous.
How did normal people who work 9 to 5s, 9 to 12s in Japan, how did they have time to do this stuff? I don't understand. Because people don't stop working here. And stuff closes on weekends here. So what do they do? I don't understand.
They take pay leave.
They take a week off? Are you serious?
They take a week off to move.
Oh.
Wait, don't they only have by law a week of paid holiday anyway?
20 whole days in
So
the year.
you lose what, like 5? You lose a quarter of your paid holiday if you want to move here in Japan.
If you want to do
Japan, the country where moving is a luxury.
if you want to do anything in Japan, you got to take a day off to call them up and do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous. You want to? You can't. If you want to change your phone provider, you got to take a day off work. How
Yeah.
weird is that? What the fuck? It's weird.
The fact that you can't just do it like during a lunch break is ridiculous.
It's tragic.
Yeah.
It's tragic. It really is tragic.
So, as someone who has moved before, Joey, what is the moving experience like here in Japan?
Hell. In one word.
Because you've already
Q
moved once here in
credits.
Japan, right?
I've moved twice now.
Oh, you've moved twice.
Yeah, so
Okay.
so the place I'm about to move to will be my 4th place.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you've moved twice, but you've had 4 places.
Well, yeah.
How does that work?
Well, I mean, I moved in here and then I moved to separate times.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I thought you meant
Sorry.
you
Yeah.
moved. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
those numbers don't add up.
2 + 2 = 4.
Well, the first time I moved, when I moved from Australia to Japan, it was a lot easier for me because I had help. I had help from my auntie.
Right.
So
Right.
she did all the paperwork for me because
epic.
I
Pro
didn't
gamer
know
moment.
fucking how to do it. But then she was like, "All right, well now you know how to do it." I'm like, "What do I? Do I?"
It's like when someone builds a PC for you. Like, great, you can do it on your own now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
She's like, you've passed the tutorial stage.
Yeah. Like, I hope you're paying attention. I'm like, "Oh, thanks.
expert mode begin.
It's not even like would you like to listen to that again option. It's just like, I hope you were listening. Yeah, so the first time when I moved here was fine. But then from the second time on when I moved to, my own place, yeah, it was hell. And it's still hell. This is the 3rd time I'm doing it now. And it's not easier at all. Like, the only thing that makes it easier now is that you know exactly the list of things you need to do.
Yeah.
But the process of going through that list.
The time is not any more
The
efficient.
time is not any more efficient. It is just as time consuming and
So no one
fucking
moves,
ridiculous.
right? No one wants to improve their life because they're like, well, I do want to improve.
But that's what
my
I'm
life.
saying, right?
You
It's
know,
like-
I've got asbestos, I've got mold, but frankly, putting up that paper.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
is
Like, it's
more.
not an understatement to say that, or not an overreaction to say that moving in Japan is a luxury,
Yeah.
and it shouldn't be a luxury. It's fucking ridiculous.
That's why they're able to charge the same amount when you have to renew your contract.
Right,
Yeah.
charge you out
Which
the
is why
ass.
I don't know if we explained this, but the reason we're all moving is because when your contract ends for like your rental period, normally you'd think it can just easily roll over and
As
stuff
it does
like that.
in the UK.
That's how it does in the
Yeah.
UK.
US.
That's how it did in Thailand for me.
countries, yeah.
That's how it did in most countries. Nope, you got to go through the same process again and pay the same fees.
So you got to pay 2 months of rent for free.
Yeah.
For no reason. Just
Yeah.
because they want it. And it's like,
Because you gotta
no,
re-
fuck you. I'm not fucking giving you 2 months of money for free. For what? For this shitty apartment? Fuck off.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate it. So,
So
I'm,
did you use like a moving company the first time you moved?
Yeah, I got a moving company, but I mean, the moving company we're using for now, the new place, is like has like a service where like they'll come in and like pack it for you. Like, weirdly enough, the moving company is probably the easiest thing to sort out
Yeah.
Okay.
when moving. It's everything else that's a pain. Like
Yeah.
the internet is the fucking worst.
Oh, I can imagine.
Like setting up internet for a new place is
That's hard in the UK as well.
Yeah.
That's like the hardest one.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they're just like, oh yeah, so are you okay going 4 months without internet in the new place? It's like, no, I'm fucking not.
yeah, but at least like with our current place, like they'll give us like a kind of portable, or not portable, but like a rental Wi-Fi kind of thing. So you're
Yeah.
not like completely out of internet. You
Still
just
sucks
yeah.
though.
yeah, it still sucks that I have to wait for like the full price to like kick in. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the moving company is weirdly the smoothest thing.
Sick.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I remember in the UK when I moved all my stuff to my parents' house. I was trying to do it as cheap as possible.
Yeah.
And there was like a service that had like vans, but for Uber. I don't know about this. Yeah, it's called like Anyvan or something in the UK.
Right.
Paid a guy. Guess how much it cost to go basically from London to North Wales? Like that's like basically half the UK.
Right.
How much do you think that cost to hire that van?
Like one van?
Just one guy in a van, just driving.
Well, normally, I'd think maybe like, I don't know, £300 maybe?
It was £120, I think I paid.
That sounds sus as fuck.
And I was so fucking scared the whole time when I put because this guy was just like, all right, what we doing? What we putting in the boxes?
What are we doing?
What we doing? It was just like some guy who just like, again, like Uber for vans, just chilling.
Yeah. Wow.
It was really nice. My mum was like, yeah, he was really nice when he got there. And I was like,
that just sounds like...
It was so cheap, and I was like, this guy can't be getting much, so I gave him a fat tip, because apparently he was really nice and was really helpful to my mum.
That sounds scary though, doesn't it? Like
weird.
that just calls for some dude who has all your stuff in his van and just drives
Pretty much,
off
yeah.
into the middle of nowhere.
There was a GPS tracker on his car, but again,
Right.
like, he could just take it.
Oh, you went with him?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's even more scary.
No,
Yeah.
he just goes. Gave him all my valuable stuff. I was like, see you later.
Jesus Christ.
Well, so your laptop, your PC, and
Yeah,
all your equipment.
everything.
Gee, that's
That's scary, yeah.
And somehow we fit it all in a van and everything. And somehow it was fine. And the service was great. It was pretty much cheap as fuck. Like,
Yeah, Jesus.
I'm thinking, I'm like, the fuel must have been like half of that cost. Like, this man cannot be getting any money from this.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, fat tip.
Yeah, he might be living just strictly off tips.
Yeah, I don't know. Fuck, I feel bad, but yeah.
I mean, I don't know, like, because like tipping culture, I don't know, tipping culture is different everywhere in the world, right? And in the UK, the UK is like kind of in the middle, I guess, with tipping culture. Japan is non-existent, which you know, there are times when I wish that I could tip people in Japan, because I get some of the best customer service here that I've ever had worldwide, and I can't tip people here.
It's because it's the whole philosophy of, you know, the best customer service is expected.
Wait, what was the tangent that we were on before I started talking about my van? We're talking about your moving company, right?
Yeah, moving company.
I basically just said the moving company was...
Doing it. Oh, yeah, sure. Easy. Yeah,
because when I moved in the UK from London back to Brighton, I just used Gumtree. And I feel like with the UK, I don't know anyone who's actually used a moving company. Everyone's just known a mate who has
Everyone
a
has
van.
a mate to do
Yeah.
At least one friend has like a giant...
The only
van,
time,
yeah.
I mean, that's because pretty our age, but I think when the people who use moving companies are like families, just absurd amounts of stuff.
That makes sense. I mean, I was
because
like...
at my age, I when I moved out, I recycled or threw away probably about 70% of my belongings, because I'm like, I don't need this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, because I was like, oh, well, I'm, you know... I put everything on for free on Gumtree, all of my stuff. I was like, come get it. Who wants my wardrobe? Who wants my fucking...
Oh yeah, that's what I did with like with our current move as well. There's like a Japanese site where you can just throw like couches and beds for free. And people just come pick it up. Yeah,
people will go on like Craigslist, like fucking
exactly.
give things.
Yeah,
away
because
for
throwing
free.
out trash here costs fucking money.
And
like an absurd amount of money to throw out. Where I'm just like, why would anyone do that?
Pain in the ass.
Just give it to someone.
True.
Yeah.
Shit, I just remembered. Banks. Sorry to shit on banks again. You can't. I remember I was out in Shibuya, and I was out till like 2 a.m. I was like, all right, well, I want to go home now, so I'll go and get a taxi. And I was like, great, well, I've got no money, so I'll just quickly go and get some money from the ATM. Turns out that after working hours, you just can't withdraw money. So, you know, if fuck me, if I was stranded in the middle of nowhere, can't get money. Have to wait until 8 a.m. until the banks open up for some reason, so the ATMs start fucking working.
Is that right? I don't think I've ever had to.
I don't think I've ever had to take money out like that
Sometimes,
way.
you know, sometimes I have a good night. You know, I spend more than I intended to. I got no more cash left. No biggie. I'll get some from the ATM.
Right.
No, fuck me. And even if it is during working hours, I got to pay anyway. What am I paying for? It's an ATM. There's no one there. There's no one in the machine giving me money, is there? Is there just a small man sleeping in the machine who's awake during these hours? Why is it this much?
Yeah, there are some ATMs, like to explain, there are some ATMs in the UK that do charge to take money out, but they're like the no branded ATMs at some sketchy like corner
Those
shop
are
or
the
something
ones
like
where
that.
like there's probably a man inside.
Just
taking your money. Yeah.
Those are the ones where it's fucking 2 a.m. or something. You just need some fucking money out to go to the club or something, and you're like, sure, I'll pay £5 to take out my £20 entry fee to this club. Whatever, I'm drunk enough to do it. now imagine that, but for every transaction you do, and that's taking out money here in Japan.
Yeah.
You have to take out a lot of money.
Yeah, they
at a
charge
time.
like $5, I think, each time or something.
Yeah, they charge like
It's just like
$5 every.
to access
Yeah.
my fucking money.
Unless you go to that bank's branded ATM.
But even then, sometimes they charge you.
Yeah, because you have a limit as to how many times you can take money out per month.
But that depends. If you, for some reason, you're a rich motherfucker and you have X amount of money in your bank, it's free. They're like, no, it's on us. It's on us. You have a lot of money with us, we ain't going to charge you.
Punish the poor, feed the rich.
Why are you taxing the fucking poor people? What the fuck? That's just like, what's wrong? It's like everything in this system is designed to make you hate them.
Damn you,
Like-
capitalism.
I when I wanted to get the taxi home, I was like, I'm so goddamn lucky that I have a foreign card that I just carry on me at emergencies.
yeah.
Because I'm like, you never know.
Yeah, for my British card
Yeah.
is just like my get out of jail free card.
Yeah. So
It's like 100% more reliable than using the card in the country it was made from. How does that work?
My British bank card works every single ATM. At any time of the day, whenever, and they don't charge me. They just charge me the exchange rate cost, which I accept, because I'm changing the money.
Of course.
Whatever, they got to do that. But I genuinely don't know how I would have got home that night.
Yeah.
If I didn't have my British card. What do
Yeah.
Japanese people do in this? They just go to the fucking manga cafes, don't they?
Well, no, because you'd have to pay for the manga cafe, and if you don't have
Oh,
cash,
shit,
you can't
yeah,
even
yeah.
pay for it. They literally sleep outside of the
Homeless
station.
simulator for like 6
No,
hours. Yeah.
I mean you've probably seen it before.
Oh,
They
yeah.
literally sleep
Oh, is that
outside
like
of the
the
station.
Shibuya meltdown shit?
Yes, well, Shibuya
That's
Meltdown
people
is something
sleeping.
else, but like sometimes I've seen walking past the station or whatever.
Oh, people
There's like
sleeping, yeah.
couples
Tons
and
of
like
people sleeping, yeah.
businessmen just sleeping outside of the station, waiting for it to wake up.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
absolute insanity that this
And like
is what it's
this,
come to.
like talking about this now, I'm like I'm really starting to sweat this year, right? Because of the world situation, haven't been able to travel back to the UK.
Yeah.
And I look at the expiry date on my card, and it's like it's like creeping up, right? Because it was like because before I moved
It's like
out,
the Death Note
But they
counter.
send,
Yeah, 'cause
they send you an automatic one though. At least my bank does.
yeah, it sends me to my UK address, which no one is living in right now because my parents are in fucking Thailand. I'm here in Japan. So my I'm not going to say what the exact date, but my
Exact address.
it is in 2021. My expiry date for my British card, and I'm just like,
When's mine expire?
I'm starting to swear because I'm just like, shit, man. If I can't travel back to the UK to get my new cards, then I'm kind of just like resting on my Japanese card to work now.
Mine's 2023. We good. We Gucci. Fuck you, gone.
Yeah, it's scary. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I mean that was a nice little rant.
Just banks of hell here. Sorry,
Banks
I'm
of
sure
hell.
most people have absolutely no care in the world about Japanese
Yeah.
banks, but now you know a lot more
Well,
about
there's
them
probably
and
a
how
lot.
shit they
Well,
are.
there's a lot of audiences of Trash Taste who are like, one day I want to live in Japan and live that weeb dream. Just be prepared.
Well, no, I think we've done a good job, at least, bigging up the stuff that is worth, giving praise
Honestly-
to.
honestly-
and we're brutally honest about the shit parts.
Yeah.
Honestly, like all things considered, Japan is like, I don't know if it's the best, but it's definitely like either comparing the UK to Japan, it's been a fucking amazing place to live. And I
Yeah.
don't know if I'll put it as the best, but it's definitely
well, the
top two.
pluses definitely outweigh the minuses.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I enjoy living here
Yeah,
in
and
the
right,
UK
and
more
yeah.
so.
I mean, I'm definitely have enjoyed my previous year and a half more than I have in the UK. We'll see how I am 5 years down the line,
Yeah.
But right now, I'm definitely living here.
I'm approaching my 5th year.
yeah.
I'm definitely gonna be here for at least 2-3 more years. I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, because I fucking love it here. It's so much fun. It's an amazing country.
So expect Trash Taste for at least another 2 or 3 years.
just don't tell me I have to move house or fucking change my internet or change my phone because I'm gonna get a headache.
Just tell me ahead of time when that happens because I'll just fucking get out of there before I'm like
Joey,
dragged
no,
into
like
no,
this
Joe.
rant is me like mentally preparing for like the month in like the month in this year that I'm gonna have to dedicate to moving.
Yeah, I mean, paying taxes was way more much more enjoyable than doing any of the forms I had to do in Japan, which is just weird. But anyway, you know who doesn't charge us to use ATMs? Our wonderful patrons.
Oh my god, look at them.
God.
But look at this guy here. On
They
the
live
screen.
rent free in our heads.
I bet they
I
have a
would
good.
charge them to get their money.
I
out
bet,
of
I
the
bet they
ATM.
have a good banking system.
Yeah.
That's why they're supporting
I
us.
bet this guy.
Touche.
I bet this guy can get his bank statement online.
I bet they can pay all their bills online, right?
Yeah, of course they can. Hey, if you'd like to support the show,
That's what they're doing right now.
Yeah, make sure to go to patreon.com/trashtaste.
I just look forward to the day where I don't have to pay my bills by carrier pigeon engine.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't wait for it. But thank you so much for watching this episode of Trash Taste. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to listen to us on Spotify. Go to the Reddit and check out the memes.
Oh my God, you said it.
That's the thing.
I didn't have to do it.
Shit.
I did it for once. Sorry,
Hey,
Joe.
nice.
I got to do that next time.
Damn,
then.
my job is obsolete now.
You're obsolete now, Joe. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Trash Taste. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.